Super Eagles penalty shootout loss to DR Congo in the African playoff. Reports suggest DR Congo is lobbying via CAF Secretary General Veron Mosengo Omba, raising concerns about potential influence in FIFA decisions. Observers warn the dispute may escalate to the Court of Arbitration for Sport if FIFA's verdict is contested. The outcome remains critical for Nigeria's final chance at the 2026 World Cup. Nigeria LNG Limited has emerged overall champions at the 20th Nigerian Oil and Gas Industry Games in Abuja, collecting 52 medals, including 20 golds. Over 1,200 athletes from 15 companies participated in the week-long competition. NNPC Limited finished second with 14 gold medals, while the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board secured third place. The football final saw Nigeria Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority claim gold after defeating NLNG 1-0. Owando won the football bronze in a 5-3 penalty shootout against NNPC following a 0 draw. The closing ceremony, officiated by NNPC Managing Director Bashir Bayo Ojulari, marked 4 decades of the Games, highlighting industry unity, sportsmanship and corporate camaraderie. Two Nollywood crew members, lighting director Ekemini GT Ime and colleague Ayodeji Water Odediran, were found dead inside a vehicle at Evercare Hospital in Lekki, used as a filming location. The discovery was made late Saturday after production wrapped. Reports indicate the men had been resting in a parked vehicle with the air conditioner running. They were last seen alive during a breakfast delivery at 11 a.m., but attempts to reach them during the day failed. Preliminary observation showed physical distress, foaming at the mouth and bloodstains. Police are investigating, awaiting autopsy and toxicology results to determine cause of death. The production was reportedly directed by former Big Brother Niger housemate Boma Ore. Authorities are reviewing CCTV footage as similar incidents have occurred recently in Lagos music studios. Nollywood actress Rita Dominic received a Range Rover from her husband, Fidelis Anosike, in a Valentine's Day gesture. Dominic shared the moment on social media, highlighting the emotional significance over the material gift. She described her husband as a forever boyfriend and emphasized the emotional security he provides. Fans and colleagues celebrated the surprise online. The couple recently marked their third wedding anniversary, married in 2022 across multiple ceremonies. Dominic has previously stated she waited for a partner offering true compatibility before marrying. The gift reinforces the actress's narrative of patience and international love, portraying her as an advocate for meaningful relationship over societal pressures or marital displays. And now to end news across the country. Here are the main points again. President Bola Tinubu has demanded the immediate and unconditional release of South Sudan's first vice president. The president called on relevant parties to ensure the safety and freedom of the senior official. The statement underscores Nigeria's commitment to diplomatic engagement and regional stability in East Africa. The National Assembly is set to reconvene on Tuesday to continue deliberations on the Electoral Act Amendment Bill. Lawmakers are expected to discuss provisions affecting election timelines, voting procedures, and the conduct of political parties. The session is being closely watched by stakeholders ahead of the 2027 general elections. A community in Ebonyi State has approached the International Criminal Court alleging human rights violations and atrocities by the state governor. The petition claims abuses linked to local governance and calls for international investigation. The matter adds to ongoing scrutiny of state leadership and accountability in the region. The Office of the National Security Advisor under Nuhu Ribadu has challenged former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai to provide evidence supporting his claim that the agency procured thallium sulfate. The ONSA has referred the matter to the Department of State Services for investigation, emphasizing that any claims will be formally scrutinized. And that's news across the country at noon. For breaking news and eyewitness reports, call 070-30-437110 or follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok and YouTube, all at Aneke TV. On behalf of the producer, Chidima Sogwa, and the entire news team, I'm Deborah Wakba, thanking you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.
every second. The world changes, markets rise, leaders speak, stories unfold. To keep up, you don't just need news, you need clarity, you need speed, you need perspective.
That's why Aneke TV brings you the global pulse. Accurate, reliable, right when it matters most. Aneke TV. Move with the world.
Corruption in Nigeria is not limited to isolated scandals. It is systemic, deeply embedded, and sector-specific, affecting critical areas of governance, particularly oil and gas, power, the judiciary, and local government administration. These sectors highlight how weak oversight, institutional fragility, and accountability gaps continue to constrain national development. Nigeria's oil and gas sector, the backbone of the national economy, remains highly vulnerable to corruption. Despite contributing the largest share of government revenue and foreign exchange earnings, the sector faces challenges of opaque accountability, weak audits, and repeated allegations of under-remittance. Independent investigations into the period between 2011 and 2017 uncovered unresolved revenue discrepancies running into tens of billions of dollars. Crude oil sales, fuel subsidy claims, and joint venture arrangements have been particular areas of concern, while reforms like the commercialization of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and the Petroleum Industry Act were designed to improve transparency. Implementation gaps persist. Recent international asset recoveries, including over $50 million repatriated from the United States, illustrates the scale of past governance failures and the slow pace of accountability. The power sector also reflects the impact of weak governance on economic and social development. Since 1999, Nigeria has reportedly spent over $16 billion on interventions in electricity generation, transmission, and distribution. Yet, supply remains unreliable for a population exceeding 200 million. Audits indicate contract inflation, poor project supervision, and regulatory uncertainty as major challenges. Debt within the gas-to-power value chain has forced government bailouts and emergency payment to suppliers. Recent steps, including settlement of legacy gas debts, aim to stabilize the sector, but experts warn that without transparent procurement, stronger regulation, and disciplined subsidy management, energy insecurity will persist. The judiciary is critical in enforcing anti-corruption laws, but public confidence remains low. Surveys conducted by the National Bureau of Statistics and the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime show that judicial officers receive some of the highest average bribe payments among public officials. Perception studies consistently rank the judiciary among the most corrupt institutions, particularly in politically sensitive or high-value cases. Prolonged trials, frequent adjournments, and the procedural loopholes contribute to public skepticism. Legal analysts argue that stronger judicial discipline, improved remuneration, and institutional safeguards are essential to restore credibility. At the local government level, corruption directly affects citizens' daily lives. Councils responsible for primary health care, education, sanitation, and rural infrastructure are often cited in surveys for routine bribery and mismanagement. The National Bureau of Statistics reports that more than
In a world that never stands still, where stories break in seconds and moments shape history. One station keeps you connected to your nation, to the continent, to the world.
From breaking news to powerful stories, from business and politics to culture, lifestyle and entertainment, we inform, we inspire, we keep you ahead.
This is more than television. This is your window to everywhere that matters.
Aneke TV. Move with the world.
Happy Monday, happy Monday, morning making morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's the best of the best Monday. Last weekend, they nearly tear my shirt. They wanted to tear my shirt. Today I am here alive. Last weekend also, my eyes suffered because I no wonder yesterday my eye can't they pain me. I was not like these two gentle men and gentle women were pushing their hands to enter my eye. But God did not let them win. Say God did not let them win. Now, God did not even let them play draw because God made them to win. And He made everywhere boosty because we don't eat draw here. It is your one and only commission of enjoyment doing this afternoon with your one and only. And I am here to bring you what it says. Well. It is not just that I'm alone. I'm with the men. When I mean men them are here. And this is what it says. So I am interested to see that you make your money today. You are going to make a lot of money today. But sometimes it looks like making money is a subject of influence or subject of cloud chasing. We're going to see that and see what happens. But before I move on with the show, I want to go on a short break. When I return, it's going to be banga, not banga soup. Stay right there.
In a world that never stands still, where stories break in seconds and moments shape history, one station keeps you connected to your nation, to the continent, to the world.
From breaking news to powerful stories, from business and politics to culture, lifestyle and entertainment, we inform, we inspire, we keep you ahead.
This is more than television. This is your window to everywhere that matters.
Aneke TV. Move with the world.
Ohaneze ndị Igbo worldwide heartily congratulate two illustrious sons and a daughter of Ali Igbo, namely Collins Obinna Chibueze, Shabuzi, Tyler Gregory Okoma, Tyler the Creator, and Cynthia Chinyasa Onyedimonazo Ukegbu Erivo, on their historic victories at the 68th Grammy Awards held on 2nd February 2026. Their remarkable achievements across diverse creative fields stand as a powerful testament to the creativity, resilience, excellence, and global relevance of Igbo talent. By proudly carrying their Igbo identities and names onto the world's most prestigious cultural stage, they have brought immense honor to Nigeria and to Nigerians everywhere. Speaking on behalf of the global Igbo nation, the President General of Ohaneze ndị Igbo worldwide, Senator Azuta Mbata, stated, "These outstanding achievements reaffirm the timeless Igbo virtues of brilliance, hard work, innovation, courage, and perseverance. Our sons and daughters have once again demonstrated that wherever Ndi Igbo find themselves, excellence follows, and they hoist the flag of Nigeria. We celebrate these winners not only for their personal success, but for elevating the Igbo name as Nigerian citizens with dignity and pride before the world." Ohaneze and Igbo Worldwide thanks these award winners for being the worthy ambassadors of Igbo values and for inspiring millions of young people across the globe. Their journey sends a clear message to Igbo youth everywhere. Remain focused, law-abiding, resilient, and committed to excellence, knowing that integrity and perseverance can open doors on any global stage. As a people known for turning adversity into opportunity, Ndi Igbo remain proud contributors to national and global progress. Ohaneze Ndi Igbo Worldwide urges the government, institutions, and stakeholders to continue investing in structures that nurture talent, creativity, and enterprise so that future successes may flourish both at home and abroad. Once again, we celebrate these historic victories and salute all Igbo youths who continue to project the values of Igbo with honor and distinction. Signed, Ezechi Chukwu, National Publicity Secretary, Ohaneze Ndi Igbo Worldwide.
Hi, I told you I'll be back. Now, I'm in a new world. You're wondering what happened. What just happened right now? Well, what happened right now is that I changed. All of you are like, wow, what happened? Well, I changed and I have to just change because if you're not doing what you should do and you're not in the right place where you are, you should actually make some changes. Right now, I just changed, but I did not change alone. I changed with the best of the best. Last week, I was telling you guys that nearly 2 people nearly blinded me. I would have been blind Bartimaeus by now. And one of them has reappeared. This one is the social lawyer, Red Pepper. She's here again to please let me just show you guys what she's wearing today so that people will see that she's really on the print of the print. Hello, social lawyer. Let me be nice. Hello, social lawyer.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm not happy with you anyway.
What happened?
I'm not happy with you. The way you actually tried to resolve the conflict.
The weekend.
It wasn't fair. It was showing like all face of biasness. Like you were just being biased because I think you were more friendly and more biased in your opinion because you are dealing with the guys and against the lady and it's all shabby.
Again also.
I have a lot to say, but for now, let's just not.
Okay, let's not go there.
Because if I go there,
you will come out from there. Well, let's not go there because the edition promises to be interesting. Now, I have news around P Square, and I have news around Toki Makinwa, and I also have news around a lot of things happening in the celebrity world. You also have the news, so it's not like a new thing. Because what I'm telling you right now is that things are happening. Now, there's something we want to talk about. It is about this thing they call, we were about to talk about it last week, but now, because of Valentine and you people dragging my shirt, you see, that's why all my buttons fell out. So I had to get a new button because these people wanted to destroy my life. You get? So that's what happened. Now, what I want us to talk about today in entertainment side is actually how would people just be on the Valentine season and be fighting. People are fighting for love. Should you fight for love? That's one thing I want us to talk about today. How do you know love is? The Holy Book says love is patient, love is kind. There's one love that is not patient. There's one other love that is not kind. So how should you fight for love? Because there's all these videos of razzmatazz over the weekend, people fighting for love, people doing a lot of sorts of things in the name that they love. But what actually, how should you take love? And when do you know someone loves you? Now to you, over to you, Red Pepper. When do you know someone loves you?
Let me tell you something about love. Love is something that is not hidden. Like, you can actually accept things that on a normal day you cannot, accept. Like, you just be like, but because actually you have a soft spot for this person, you just accept it. Okay,
so what call names? What is the thing you can accept when someone loves you?
Now you don't have money now. If you tell me now like you love me, I will just be like, okay, and I love you too, I'll just be like, okay, I can just manage because there's love there. Do you understand? I've just painted a good scenario. Do you understand?
So what happened next?
The next is that from there we migrate to another stage of love.
So if I give you $1 billion now,
Are you giving me $1 billion? But then
no.
after
If I give
giving,
you $1 billion now, what do you think will happen?
if you actually give me $1 billion,
I can't give you my consequence money. I'm meant to be on a project. But you want me to always be spending on you people. I'm a project man, commissioner. Is it because I'm not with my red cap? Young lady, I am a commissioner, please.
Gift,
and I don't spend money.
Gift, calm down.
I don't gift because you are already gift. You are gift. You have been gifted.
See,
God looked at you and gifted nature. Sorry, nature gifted you. Okay. Who gifted each other?
Both of us.
Your mother gifted you to nature. Nature gifted you to your mother.
So actually,
but guess what? When you talk about money, you are now trying you're not trying to drag commissioner. What do you even mean? But let's talk about Rita Dominic.
Okay.
Did you see that Rita Dominic now has a new Range Rover 2020 Imakwa? She has a new Range Rover, and guess who got it for her?
Her baby. Her baby. Her baby. Her baby.
Habibi.
Her baba.
Wait, you said Habibi?
Her baby.
She said Habibi. Habibi got Rita Dominic.
Her big baby.
I heard you say Habibi. They say Habibi. I don't know who is Mr. Habibi. Here before the commissioner, because they say you are. Listen, they say that you now have a new Range Rover from Habibi. So please, Habibi, make yourself known and come to this studio now, because you are in trouble. So now, talking about the Range Rover, do you see what it means? Will you say that's love or what?
That's love. Getting with the condition that both couples are in, they didn't start on time with their love, but time doesn't actually matter. But it actually matters, but it doesn't matter, because sometimes when something is genuine and it gets to a point, there is an understanding there. You see, there's a ride of smooth landing.
Okay.
And everybody tends to be happy about themselves, in as much as there's no full happiness in this world, but in as much as there's no full happiness, at least the little ones you could get, you enjoy the moment, and it's full of satisfaction, and it gives you that moment you actually crave for or desire for. I feel like, even as much as she might not have her own child, maybe age-wise, but I don't think she's feeling that pressure.
Who is feeling that pressure?
The lady.
The lady. Well, you know, she's actually a Nollywood, not veteran, but an OG in this Nollywood thing.
Yeah.
She actually had a wonderful time when we were growing up. I watched her with a lot. You know, Rita Dominic, she used to act the bad girls. Basically, she used to be one of the bad girls in the movie. But now, let's talk about it. Looking at how many other people do you know that were gifted cars over the weekend?
Can I say the truth?
I said the truth. They didn't give you, so that's why. They didn't give you now. Did they give you?
I don't like this.
I have to put you where I will punch you. That no, did they
pay me.
When I say how many people, you know because you have a phone.
I didn't actually go online to actually view, because I was in my space.
Okay.
Doing what I like doing. You know, so I don't want to go there. So I didn't want to feel like pressured. I didn't want to feel kind of way. So I wanted like later when everything, the whole echo of Valentine is chowed down. Let me just start seeing the things I won't feel it. Heat, but I want it choke yesterday. It choke.
Well,
I don't want to see what my eyes see, but I don't want to talk with my eyes see, but
Okay, what happened last weekend for you? Did you break up?
Break up?
Yeah, I'm asking.
On Valentine.
The day that
that person must be a wicked person.
No. It's good though. I have a friend. She just the day before Valentine she broke up.
Maybe she has.
She broke up.
Why?
Because the issues around the relationship is not a great one. Don't say commissioner. I know all of you now be calling me bad names. Commissioner, sending me emails. Commissioner, you start to break up. I will deal with you. See, my consequence will love. we love, or we do want to really go
Oh.
So when it comes to love, we are very, very lovey-dovey people. But talking about the cars and the gifts, I think right now we should agree. Looking at Regina Daniel too, her mom got
two cars.
Two cars. And and you say you got a gift for your parents, right? That's amazing. Well, in my consequence, I got things for people. I got red flowers, rose flowers. I know
that the rose flowers is not for your own fellow man, but it's for our gender.
Your gender.
Our gender.
Because your agenda is
at this point, I feel like Commissioner is yet to tell us what we want to hear. But anyway, Commissioner, on behalf of my fellow gender, I said, to you.
No, it's what? Now, let's talk about Toki Makinwa, the one that we displayed her picture, Toki Makinwa. Toki Makinwa said something, and I want to read out. She said, I stopped paying tithe because all the churches I know are rich. I would rather go to hospitals and pay all the bills for the maternity ward. Churches already have money. Let's help each other. Let's help each other people that they can't. Well, that's what she said. She said, but this is not looking like Toki Makinwa. This is looking like to a savage. This person is looking like to a savage. This person is looking like Toki Makinwa. There's a problem actually there. Well, you can actually...
Childbirth actually reshaped her.
Reshaped her, right? Okay. Now, let's talk about this, basically, looking at what is happening. Do you think that churches are richer, that they don't need... Do you think she's making sense, basically?
She's actually making sense. That's actually not making sense.
Okay.
When I say she's making sense is that most of this, depending on the church you go actually, yes, there are churches that actually need those funds to be able to stand.
Yes.
There are churches that actually, you're actually adding little to the big well that is already there.
Okay.
So, but for me, giving is not about the you looking at, if you want to give someone,
okay,
even a rich man, you can actually give to a rich man. Is the content of the heart in which you are giving. It's your intentions in which you are giving. It doesn't matter where you are actually giving, because you see some people also going to these hospitals to donate and do some certain things. It doesn't stop you from doing the little ones you can do. Do you understand?
Okay.
You know, you're not giving with the mindset you're giving to your pastor. You're giving with the mindset that you're giving to God.
To God, right?
So there are two different things, because it depends. Like I said, if you know where you worship and you feel like that place is a place where you attract good things of life and good things, and it actually works for you, when you are giving, you don't look back and with the intention like, hey, see you. But you're giving with the intentions that actually this place has empowered you greatly, and you have earned a lot of things from this place. So you're actually giving with a good heart and good intentions of actually telling God, I thank you for what is. It's not even easy. Because imagine, you say you're not giving to God because he has it all. You just like telling God that I'm not giving you because you have it all. Yeah. Then he's coming back to tell you, okay, you think you have it all. Okay, I'm taking back my life now, the one I gave you, so that you feel like you go and join those people you want to give in the hospital, That is just tricky, and people don't understand. So that's just you just give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, give to God.
Give to Commissioner what belongs to Commissioner. Because you don't give to Caesar alone, you give to Commissioner also. Okay, you guys don't know you give to Commissioner. No, you give to Commissioner, because Commissioner is not Caesar. You give to Caesar, Commissioner, and God.
Interesting.
All right. You know one thing that we are still talking about Valentine and the things that happened. Now, many things have happened, and you've seen how the celebrity world, everybody came out to be, talking about love. And let's talk about Davido. Let's talk about OBO.
About the custody issue?
About the custody issue, yes. You heard what happened, how this he lost the custody, and the last lifeline that was used to fire him. Did you read about
his son, his late son?
That thing pained me, and as a social lawyer, now you are resuming from Mommy G.O. to social lawyer. If you were in what actually happened? Like, what is your verdict? What do you think really happened there?
Like I always say, everybody has like, if you know the what the law signifies and what I see no one.
Okay.
Both mighty, little, I see no one, because justicial eyes is tired. So it signifies I am not biased. I'm not seeing anybody. If you look at this way, you will see that with Davido's amount of influence and everything, the judgment would have even ruled to his favor.
Okay.
But there are things actually the judges are looking at. Do you understand?
Okay.
See, when you are in the law court, you are not, coming there with emotional stagnant. Do you understand?
Right.
Yeah, because one, they will press that emotions, and once you lose into it, they already see that this is one thing they will tell you, and you start fidgeting.
So they are
and
right to
they feed on your fears. Those lawyers, they feed on your fears. Like if you come to court and he notices that you are my opponent, like you are my counsel, in the law court, and I find out that you are actually afraid. I think that you are not actually confident in what you are trying to say. I feel on those fears to win you. And there's no how I feel on those fears that you not end up deviating and showing me your weakness.
Okay, so the battle of...
They knew that his weakness was that Ifeanyi. So they fed on it.
So they fed on it.
To destabilize his...
So in the court of justice...
Yeah.
Your weakness is your emotions. If you're emotional, there's no need for emotional.
Don't come there. No, it's not for the weak.
Okay, so what if I'm emotional?
Somebody can just come to you when you are in, let me say, the witness will tell you that I heard your mother died, and I heard you the last person that heard your mother. You know that kind of thing.
Okay, for go get you. What do you mean? Objection, my lord. Objection. Objection. No parish. Objection.
And
objection.
And when you react.
Sorry, it's commissioner.
When you react that way, he will come with another thing. That means you were violent. That means you might have beaten your mother.
I go beat him first. This guy.
So it's a question of.
What do you mean?
That, but when they say this thing, you are composed and you are looking straight to the man's eyes.
So looking straight to you.
Now, giving him he will not know where to hit you again. But to be frank, let's bring it down to what happened in the court. Let's bring it down now. I feel like he said he was asking for joint custody of those children. Now,
is he not Imade?
Imade.
Yes.
He's asking for a joint custody, and sometimes a mother's fear. A mother's fear is something that you should always try to consider. Her fear of what if my child goes over there and what happens, something happens, I lose my child, and this, there must be something that, she has her own fears. Do you understand? She knows that that child is the only thing she got. Do you understand? She has to protect it with her own life. So, at that point, you don't expect her to lose over one thing she holds dear. Do you understand?
Okay.
So, I think she's trying to protect her own. Do you understand? As much as the fact that you are trying to take... She didn't actually deny you of coming to Nigeria to see that child.
Okay.
You might say she's selfish, yes. If you want her to come, you want the child to come over to see you, you book a flight, the mother and child. Do you understand?
Yes.
Book a flight, mother and child, to just protect her insecurities. You book a flight, but I'm not trying to side this, but coming from a woman's and mother's perspective, you book a flight for the child and the mother. They'll come. Maybe the woman will not reside in your house. You just keep her somewhere, and the child will always come visit and go back to the mother. If you're already seeing that this is just what the lady is trying to protect.
But first of all, can we talk about this? Like, let's talk about it from the angle of, how will I say it? From the basis and the basics of now, Davido. If it was years ago, he wouldn't care. Now he's getting older. He's getting more matured. He's knowing that this thing is very important. Now, looking at Davido too, I think Imade being in the custody of the mom tells you a lot about, and also tells you a lot about what it is basically that, they did not settle well when Imade came. They did not settle well. So, in the same light, I have a question. And that question is to men. Why will they... Well, I wanted to cut the question, but I will ask it. Why are men not having conversations first before having affair? This question now is very important because why are men not having conversations first before having an affair?
Okay, let me now beg it. My opinion is not going to be fair on men, but
That's fine.
Sometimes when it comes when it comes to that sexual striven instinct of a man, it takes them off their normal logical reasoning. Their desire becomes a pressuring matter at that point.
Okay.
When a man is aroused, some things that he normally would think on a clear sense, he will not think.
Okay.
He feels like, that hitting pressure, this is what I want. This is what my body instinct is trying to tell me. I want it. Maybe when he does that, he will not come back to his normal sense. And by that time, the damages has just been done. And, to come back, to redo, to rewrite, is not becoming a difficult thing.
Because you won't blame who bore this Imade. You won't blame Sophia.
Do you know that actually, Davido and Sophia actually dated?
No, they dated, though. That's true.
That's a different thing. These are two people that once known each other, once in a relationship, they understand each other. Just that Davido think maybe he might have figured out like, I cannot actually do life with this particular woman.
Because there's something about, this person is an amazing lady. Then there's this thing about this person is an amazing lady. But I don't really think this person is my wife.
Yeah.
Do you get? It happens a lot of times. It does happen.
So,
but then it's not about men going around.
But the way he got himself in trouble is when he, gave birth to Imade, gave in for the chance to do this. That's why when you are doing things, you're going to be calculative and very have a control over yourself, because your actions now might determine your future tomorrow. So if he had known that a time will come where he will look and ask for a child that he actually bore, he wouldn't have even gotten to that point of
yes.
conceiving that child. So
yes.
Whatever you do as a woman being, you should just actually think about the future. If you know that actually you might not do something with this woman in the future, why not take away? Just don't do things. Don't do it. Don't go to an extreme part. Do you understand? Because you know that this lady is way older than you, and you know that you don't like her to the point of marriage, and you still went ahead to conceive and still went ahead to do some certain things. And you think that a woman's emotion, women don't easily forget.
No,
that's one point. Just take it with me today. Women don't easily forget.
Well, this is what I'm learning, that women don't easily forget. Women don't easily forget, and it's true. I mean, I'm not a woman.
They might forgive, but they don't forget.
But women, we forgive and we forget. I'm a person that women don't easily forget. Well, women, wherever you are, we men, we easily forgive and we easily forget. Well, Red Pepper, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I must say that your intellectual capacity is not a delulu. It's a selulu, because it's a celebrity lulu. Leave it for me at that. All right, here we draw the curtain and here we call it a day. Thank you very much for joining us. It is your one and only Commissioner for Enjoyment. In case you are out there, you are waiting for what to eat, meet me at the gate. I am doing giveaways in every measure. Just make sure you tune in, make sure you come again on Aneke TV on YouTube. Check us out all the places, all on all platforms, digital social media platforms, X, Facebook, Instagram. You're going to see us banging and pulling things down as we should always do. I am your one and only Commissioner of Enjoyment. One time again, thank you for doing this. We'll see you same time, same station tomorrow, 12:30 p.m. We are off and going. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
Every second, the world changes, markets rise, leaders speak, stories unfold. To keep up, you don't just need news, you need clarity, you need speed, you need perspective.
That's why Aneke TV brings you the global pulse. Accurate, reliable, right when it matters most. Aneke TV. Move with the world.
In a world that never stands still, where stories break in seconds and moments shape history. One station keeps you connected to your nation, to the continent, to the world.
From breaking news to powerful stories, from business and politics to culture, lifestyle and entertainment, we inform, we inspire, we keep you ahead.
This is more than television. This is your window to everywhere that matters.
Aneke TV. Move with the world.
Corruption in Nigeria is not limited to isolated scandals. It is systemic, deeply embedded, and sector-specific, affecting critical areas of governance, particularly oil and gas, power, the judiciary, and local government administration. These sectors highlight how weak oversight, institutional fragility, and accountability gaps continue to constrain national development. Nigeria's oil and gas sector, the backbone of the national economy, remains highly vulnerable to corruption. Despite contributing the largest share of government revenue and foreign exchange earnings, the sector faces challenges of opaque accountability, weak audits, and repeated allegations of under-remittance. Independent investigations into the period between 2011 and 2017 uncovered unresolved revenue discrepancies running into tens of billions of dollars. Crude oil sales, fuel subsidy claims, and joint venture arrangements have been particular areas of concern, while reforms like the commercialization of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and the Petroleum Industry Act were designed to improve transparency, implementation gaps persist. Recent international asset recoveries, including over $50 million repatriated from the United States, illustrates the scale of past governance failures and the slow pace of accountability. The power sector also reflects the impact of weak governance on economic and social development. Since 1999, Nigeria has reportedly spent over $16 billion on interventions in electricity generation, transmission, and distribution. Yet, supply remains unreliable for a population exceeding 200 million. Audits indicate contract inflation, poor project supervision, and regulatory uncertainty as major challenges. Debt within the gas-to-power value chain has forced government bailouts and emergency payment to suppliers. Recent steps, including settlement of legacy gas debts, aim to stabilize the sector, but experts warn that without transparent procurement, stronger regulation, and disciplined subsidy management, energy insecurity will persist. The judiciary is critical in enforcing anti-corruption laws, but public confidence remains low. Surveys conducted by the National Bureau of Statistics and the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime show that judicial officers receive some of the highest average bribe payments among public officials. Perception studies consistently rank the judiciary among the most corrupt institutions, particularly in politically sensitive or high-value cases. Prolonged trials, frequent adjournments, and the procedural loopholes contribute to public skepticism. Legal analysts argue that stronger judicial discipline, improved remuneration, and institutional safeguards are essential to restore credibility. At the local government level, corruption directly affects citizens' daily lives. Councils responsible for primary health care, education, sanitation, and rural infrastructure are often cited in surveys for routine bribery and mismanagement. The National Bureau of Statistics reports that more than half of Nigerians interacting with public officials encounter demands for unofficial payment, particularly in local administration, policing, and utilities. Weak financial autonomy, political interference, and limited oversight exacerbate these problems, reinforcing distrust in government. Across all sectors, corruption thrives where institutions are weak. Oversight is limited and consequences are uncertain. While anti-corruption agencies report thousands of convictions and hundreds of millions of dollars in asset recoveries, experts stress that enforcement alone cannot fix systemic issues. Economic studies estimate that corruption costs Nigeria billions of dollars annually and could erode up to 37% of GDP by 2030 if reforms stall. Beyond economic loss, it undermines service delivery, widens inequality, and weakens democratic legitimacy. Policy analysts now advocate for a governance-first approach, strengthening institutions, ensuring transparency in public finance, digitizing service delivery, protecting whistleblowers, and guaranteeing judicial independence. For Nigeria, the challenge is no longer diagnosing corruption, but sustaining the political will to reform the systems that allow it to persist. In a country facing economic pressure, security challenges, and rising public expectations, governance reform remains central, not optional, to national progress.
Good day, Nigerians. Electricity has always been a major concern for Nigerians, from households to businesses. Today, we hit the streets to ask everyday Nigerians on a simple question: are you satisfied with the current electricity supply in your area?
I think there is a little improvement in terms of distribution, but the tariff, I'm not happy with the tariff. There is an increase in tariff. It's not about where I live. Everybody feels it because, I mean, whatever you put in, before a day or two, it goes up. So, yeah, it's not satisfactory. So they need to review the tariff, you know, to a government that feels for the people. People should enjoy something from the government. Almost all the things that are controlled by the state is on the increase. Think about electricity, think about fuel supply, water supply. It's not fair. An average Nigerian deserves a bit of fresh air, you know, so they can start it with reducing the tariff. For once, let's feel a reduction in tariff.
I'm not satisfied at all. The tariff is very, very high. Like 4 units for 1,000 naira is too much. It's too high. They should be giving us like 10 units for 1,000, please. It's too high. It's affecting me because I'm using industrial machine. I'm using a lot of electronics, so it's affecting me seriously. Sometimes you will collect a customer clothes that will charge the person like 10,000 naira. The light that you buy to sew the clothes is even more than the money that you charge the customer, so it's too high. Please, they should do something about it. They should do something about it. Even if they should increase the units. That 4 units for 1,000 naira is too much. It's too much.
Please, oh, not fully satisfied, but it's the better. It's very, very better. I'm from the village, and we are getting it better now. At least when we have full light, and there's no day we don't have it. So I'm very happy now that something is very, very fine. Please, very fine. I mean very fine. Before, it used to affect me because I may not have, the main thing I have is the fridge and the phone. So at times I will put something inside the fridge, it will spoil. But now it's no more like that. When I put, if there's no light in the morning, it will be in the night. Then my phone now is always available. Yes, there's a big change. They are doing better. Please, myself and other people around me will confirm, because it's a village that know the most thing that is happening.
There should be a constant interaction, one-on-one interaction, you know, with stakeholder. There should be a kind of maybe monthly, I get me, or quarterly the electricity distribution should convene a stakeholder meeting so that we can sit down and interact to know the way forward, because the way things are, you know, almost our earning is going into electricity.
They provide light very well, but the price is kind of high. But their light is, at least in a 24-hour space, we can have light for 20 hours. So the light is very stable. But it's just the amount, the tariff that is high.
There is a significant improvement in supply, I must confess. Yes, there is remarkable improvement. I can acknowledge that. But where the problem lies is most transformers are overloaded. And when it drops, when some phase fails, the response is not rapid. It's always very, very sluggish. Then in terms of tariff, government should try to subsidize electricity for the citizens. If this economy will thrive, 200 and something naira per, what is that, kilowatts or whatever, is so outrageous in the current economy. Many Nigerians are poor.
It's necessarily affecting us. Everybody is not comfortable. The business is affecting, livelihood is affecting, because you know, when there's light, when there's electricity available, a lot of it takes shape. But when those things are not there, a lot of things will begin to dwindle, you know, and many persons lives with the service of electricity. There are things you may not even use your generator to operate with. There are things you might use electricity to get into doing. But when those things are not there, it affects everybody. Even the consumers and the producers. It affects the whole structure of the society. So if those who are operating the electricity system in our society would not begin to understand that they are serving people, and the people know what they are doing, we are interested, we want to use these things for our daily well-being, then things will begin to flow very well.
Personally, I'm not satisfied in any way. Because you see, sometimes it will take some time before they will bring the light. Sometimes they will bring it in a epileptic way, yet they still collect their money. They don't miss to collect their money. So for me, I'm not satisfied. I think they have to do some kind of reforms in their ministry or whatever I should call it. Understand? Because it's not the consumers that will come and do whatever that is necessary to be done. It's the power authority. They are the people that will have to do something to improve the supply. But people are not getting the regular supply needed, but they collect money on a regular basis.
We have constant light, but the tariff is actually expensive. And I don't know about other people that could not or cannot afford tariff, how they are actually managing. They should like reduce it a little. The amount for buying unit of light, they should like bring it down a little. Though I'm impressed with the amount of light we are getting currently, but it's too expensive, to be honest.
From Lagos to Enugu, Nigerians share their thoughts on the state of electricity today. Whether it's consistent power or consistent outrage, one thing is clear: electricity remains a top concern. We want to hear from you. Comment below, let us know your experience. Chinaza Ifeanyi, Aneke TV.
Hello, 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 hello. Good afternoon. Welcome to Aneke Sports again. It's your one and only sports oracle. Doing this with me is this guy. You know, you are feeling the energy because it has been a weekend of weekends. It's not a weekend of wickedness, it's a weekend of weekends. And I'm doing this today with whoa wow. Everyone say whoa wow. That's worldwide. Yeah, I know you vex, but it's fine.
It's not worldwide.
You say it's not worldwide, it's worldwide. Okay, worldwide. How are you doing, sir? Nice to do this with you again. So what's up now? Like you saw the match and you actually followed the things that went, how it was, and basically you saw the FA Cup, the match that was played, how Arsenal is trying to maintain their lead. Liverpool also, Sozabolai. I think Sozabolai is
Don't spoil our players.
no. I call him Sozabolai. You know why I call him Sozabolai? Why I call him Sozabolai is because he looks like one of my guys many days back in the streets where we play a lot of football. So I call him Sozobolai. Then you call him your name. What's that name you call him? Sobozlai. So Sobozolai.
Igbo name or something.
And like he's a nickname.
Okay.
Many years ago, he's in Sobozolai.
He plays like Sobozlai.
Oh, this guy is a thunder. He's a thunder breaking forth. But what do you think? Let's talk about, first of all, let's talk about the FA Cup before we go to the Nigerian Football Federation and the appeal towards FIFA to overturn the lack of qualification, the already stuff that DR Congo have with Nigeria. So, but let's talk about the FA Cup and let's talk about Liverpool being at the best of their best. So, Liverpool, what do you think about Liverpool? You know, their game, how they had to scale through scoring 3 goals and all that. What do you really think?
Well, the FA Cup this weekend, or let's say last week,
Yeah.
where you saw the big boys playing their game
Against Brentford, of course.
Liverpool played against Brighton,
Okay.
not Brentford, and it was
Brighton. Yeah.
Giving them 3 goals to nothing.
Okay.
That's to show the level Liverpool are playing right now. You know, they are coming back.
But Brighton is not a threat, basically.
Brighton, if you check their head-to-head with Liverpool,
Of course, Liverpool, but
they are a threat for Liverpool. In fact, they always play Liverpool. They always score. There's always that they play something like go. There's always goals from Brighton against Liverpool. But coming from that 3-0 is a surprising defeat for me. And the guys, even if you not only Szoboszlai, if you watch the game, you saw Salah. Salah played at a high level.
Salah was good.
He gave an assist. He caused the penalty, and he, converted the penalty. If you watch the dribble when he caused that penalty, you see that Salah was playing to his best. Like this,
Salah was really
a man of 30 something, still playing like he's still 19 something, still showing energy.
Yes.
Liverpool are playing well, but not at that level they are supposed to be. Compared to the likes of Arsenal and Man City, Liverpool are not that level yet. But
Can we say Liverpool is at the level of Manchester United now?
Both of them, Manchester United, Chelsea, Liverpool, all of them are 3 beds.
3
working together. They are just on the same level. There's no one you can see like both of them or the 3 of them. They are picking form now. Chelsea have gone 5 games without defeat. Liverpool has gone about 4 games without defeat. Man U 5 games. So they are just on that same category. But Manchester City and Arsenal are quite above them.
Chelsea actually has gone 6 games without defeat.
Okay, they won.
They won Hull City 4-0. And let's talk about Chelsea, because looking at Chelsea looks very mean with their new coach coming on board. But you see, thanks to Pedro Neto for scoring the hat-trick, and also thanks to Fabrizio Romano for getting us the graphics. This guy is amazing. He's one of the amazing guys on X who gets this graphics done. Yeah. So now looking at Chelsea scoring 4 goals and having Pedro Neto starting the scoring spree from the first half to the second half. And Estavio, I saw that Estavio goal. Okay. Will anyone believe Estavio is actually 18 years?
Yes. Yeah. Me, I will believe that he's 18.
Okay, he's
looking
18.
So young.
He's looking young, right?
Right from when he started playing football, these people, they follow them. It's not like Nigeria where you just come up with one age and say you are 20 and everybody is supposed to believe that you are 20.
Right.
These people, when they were born, they have their record.
Okay.
It's there, it's online. The data is there. So they hardly, it's not that they don't do it to South Americans do this thing, but not the way. Estavio is a young boy. Very young player that is showing bright future.
Yeah, bright future, right?
And this Pedro Neto,
a great winger.
sometimes he will just go off for like 6 months.
Well,
Before you know, you come back again.
Basically,
drop hat-trick,
basically,
and go back.
it is how the system of Chelsea rotates players. Chelsea. Listen, Chelsea has a system. Currently, their new coach is trying out everyone.
But you know, there was a
same
time
thing with
Neto
Michael
used to
Carrick.
start.
Yes, there was a time.
Almost all the matches.
It looks like then nobody knew what Chelsea would be, and their coach is just very, that cold. Is a very cold person.
Yeah.
He's like a darker version of Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
Because he's not talking, he's not saying anything.
Just quiet.
He's just quiet.
I don't even know why he used to grant interviews.
Of course, he speaks less. It tells you what he's actually doing. Now, let's talk about moving away from Chelsea a little bit. Yeah. You know that around Manchester City, how they played last weekend, they actually were 2 goals up. They were actually 2 goals up. Now, Manchester City, Maguire scored, a defender coming to score in their FA Cup outing. Yeah. What do you really think about that squad, Manchester City, now below Arsenal? He scored, and you are going to see that they scored on goal, of course. It was an own goal. Now, what do you think about this Manchester City side, where they have recruited people like Maguire and the rest of them?
Well,
and what is it looking like?
This game, actually, I was expecting 5-0, 6-0, to be true.
Does it mean that Manchester City their standard has reduced?
No, not that it reduced. Of course, this is not an important match for them. Using their second squad, they should win that match. So that spirit of going to beat these people like as if we have one thing that we are dragging, is not. They didn't come for that. They just wanted to play good football, get the result, and leave there. So they played what they can play. You saw that Haaland was not even there. He was not even on the bench. So they rested their players. I think Semenyo came from the bench. So Pep just wanted to play, but just to keep fit. You guys should just use this as a training section for you, not necessarily that we know we'll beat these people.
Are you Pep or Pepe Guardiola?
No. if you look at the way they played the ball, they didn't play with that much zeal to come out. Nobody wants to get injured. Just play, score, get 2-0. That's enough. It's a win. 3 points.
That's amazing. Now let's also talk about the next team. We've talked about Liverpool, we've talked about Chelsea, we've talked about Manchester City. Now, don't you think the FA, looking at these 3 guys lining up for the FA, none of the big cats in the English football, in the English league currently, none of them conceded. Chelsea didn't concede, Liverpool did not concede, Man City did not concede, Arsenal did not concede.
That's true.
So, looking at how they played, of course, they played basically second division player.
Apart from Liverpool that played Brighton, which is
Brighton, of course,
and did not concede.
They did not concede. So we are now seeing that consistency without conceding a goal. Now let's move over to the NFF and the lawsuit. Not the lawsuit, actually, it's a complaint to FIFA for the fielding an ineligible player.
Yeah, that's true.
This was just the qualification that Nigeria Super Eagles had with DR Congo, the guys from DR Congo. Looking at the game, what do you think if Nigeria eventually has that privilege to play at the World Cup or play the playoff that is coming up? Yeah. Do you think that Nigeria would really do well in the World Cup? And how the whole thing is going? Yeah.
Well, for me, we saw anyway. We are just coming out from AFCON.
Okay.
We saw our performance there. So
was it something we can take?
Yes.
It's a World Cup standard.
That is not the one who now go and sack Eric Chelle.
That's the thing.
The one who now sack coach, then bring another person to come and start restructuring the team. The team now, they are in harmony. Players are, they understand each other. They like themselves. So there's no hatred in the camp right now. They want the coach. So it's not the one NFF now will now go and bring one coach because this guy is not, the coach is not in Nigeria and they want someone from Nigeria. The guy is doing well. We performed well. Forget that we came out third. It was penalties that we lost. So anybody can lose penalties.
Of course, anybody can lose penalties.
If you look at the performance from the strike to the midfield to the defender to the keeper, everybody was playing well. So, and it's worthy to say that we can go with that squad to World Cup.
Yes, we can. We can. But you know what we are talking about now is that the playoff is coming just right in March, and Nigeria already has a friendly with Jordan against Jordan.
Okay.
And this friendly is also in March, and the playoff is also in March. Now, talking about the friendly, Jordan qualified for World Cup.
Okay.
They qualified for World Cup. The match is it should be 16th, between 16th and 18th of March.
That's the friendly match.
The friendly match, Nigeria, just to keep fit, to be reinvigorated and to be able to move and play well.
Jordan themselves, they are already in World Cup.
Yes, they are already in World Cup. Now, looking at what team do you think that the Super Eagles will play? You know,
let them know in World Cup.
Yes. Like, what team could you say, okay, Super Eagles can easily win in the World Cup? What country do you think?
I just pray they don't pair us with the likes of
Portugal,
Germany, France, or Spain.
France, Spain, please don't put us there.
I just pray we don't get those people.
We don't get those
people. If you, I'm not scared of England.
No, I'm not. Of course, I'm not scared of England.
Scared of Italy.
Because you know why I'm not scared of English league, England.
England as a team.
You know why I'm not
much of a threat.
You know why I'm
not.
More
like Nigeria.
You know why I'm not scared of the Three Lions. Yeah. Why I'm not scared of them is because most of our players are playing there.
Yes.
The same way I'm not scared of Turkey.
Of course.
Now, because you know that we have Paul Onachu.
Yes.
He's the highest goal scorer in Turkish league.
Yes.
Right now, he has scored a lot of goals, and we have a lot of these people who have. We have the guys there, and in the English league we have our guys there too. We have a lot of them too. Just the other time, Frank Onyeka went from his team to Coventry. That's the former Chelsea defenders team. The former Chelsea coach, midfielder and coach team. You will know who I'm talking about. I want you to guess.
Former Chelsea midfielder.
Yes. Very, very strong Chelsea midfielder. Lampard. Yes, Lampard. Because we are already moving to other thoughts. Yeah. So now, he moved from there to Coventry. He moved into Coventry. Now, looking at the team and how football is now, I'm not sure that we should be afraid of the Three Lions. No, we should not be afraid of the Three Lions. But when you talk about French side,
if you say France,
if you say Spain,
Spain are world number one.
They are near world number.
If you mention those South American sides, yes, we should be scared of people like Argentina.
Argentina,
scared of
Brazil.
You can see Brazilian players right now. They are doing spectacular.
They are doing spectacular.
They are doing wonders.
Just like when Matheus Cunha came to Manchester United, he was having this kind of play where he struggled, of course. Yes. He had some struggle where fans called him out. And right now, Cunha have not gone 2 matches without assisting or scoring a goal.
That's the beauty of it.
That's the beauty of it.
You might start slow,
but
later you pick up. That's how to know a good player. It's not that when you come, to take you almost half of the season to pick.
No.
What are you picking? Are you going to pick beans or is it money you want to pick?
You are too good. Are you going to pick beans or is it money you want to pick?
Someone like Garnacho now.
Oh, you always having beef with Garnacho. Did he take your chicken?
Picking. I don't know. That boy has been trying to pick something.
You know Chelsea wants to sell him.
They should better sell him.
No, Chelsea wants to sell Garnacho. Currently, Chelsea wants to sell Garnacho because they are looking at offloading him since the new coach came.
But which team is coming for him?
No team will come for Garnacho.
When he had the chance to go, Napoli was coming for you.
Napoli was coming. In fact, Bayern Munich was coming for Garnacho.
But you insisted you wanted to stay in England to repay Man U.
He has
now. I don't know what you are repaying. Whether you have even done anything.
Whether he has even the thing is that's what I'm telling you. Football is not just the sports. Football is also what is included in sportsmanship of football is the character, the integrity, and the ability to have self-control, a good self-control.
That character, most players don't have it.
Most players don't have character, and you don't blame. You don't blame the team for lack of character. You actually blame the individual. Because if you have a good character, it will really show. People will want to relate to you. People want to be there. People want to, defend you. Just like Harry Maguire. Look at what's happening now in Manchester United. Harry Maguire currently is being clamored. All the Manchester United players, most of the Manchester United players, of course, are clamoring that Manchester United will give Maguire a new contract. It may not look as Manchester United doesn't want to give Maguire a new contract, but like we talked about it the other day, Maguire came from behind, and he went to the top, and he went back again, and he came back to the top. You see what's happening? That's how.
That's character.
That's character. The character has sustained him over time, that he is now able to mastermind what it is. And you won't count top 3 of Manchester United defenders without counting Maguire.
He deserves that.
In fact, let's count it. Let's count it. Let's count Martinez is number 1.
Of course.
Why do you think
apart from injury?
Apart from
When
injury,
Martinez
is number 1. Is number 1 defense guy Manchester United
They
has.
not call him the butcher for no reason.
You know why? You saw that dribbling that he dribbled Bowen during the game against West Ham, and you see how he plays line breaking passes.
Yeah.
He does that a lot.
He plays the passes.
I feel like
for a defender.
Now, that was what Onana was trying to learn as a goalkeeper, but he could
That's
not.
why I should go and learn something.
Should Onana learn?
He should not learn that.
He should learn plumbing.
Plumbing will be too much for Onana.
What should?
Onana should be more of like an entertainer, not in football.
Okay.
Not in football. He should be an entertainer somewhere. Maybe if he goes into boxing.
I
think.
But wait, look at what I'm checking. As someone who is an oracle in sports, who has some experience, you see that most players convert from one position to the other.
Yes.
You've seen that happen a lot of times. You've seen it this season happening with Calvin Bassey. Calvin Bassey, he can play the central defense.
Yes.
Then he can also play number 3. He can be the left wing. You've seen it happen to Bruno Fernandes. He can play CDM, defensive, and from that defensive, he assisted more in the team.
Man U have such players. Even this guy Ahmad plays defense
and right. And you get
then that lot also. They use him as defense.
Because
Dogu now is also used as
defense,
as a striker now, attacking.
So what's actually happening? What's happening is that it's looking like we can convert.
Yes.
So can we lodge a complaint or just a restructure for Onana? Yes.
Where is he going to play?
No, he's going to midfield. No, let him keep his hand. It's just that one day in the midfield he will pick ball.
Will pick the ball from the midfield. Yeah, boy, I don't know. Sometimes it's like he takes something.
Yes.
I don't want to say what it takes, but he takes something before entering the pitch. And once that thing hits, when you are playing the ball, it will take time. It will not show immediately. But once it peaks, once that thing hits, you start misbehaving. You just start misbehaving automatically. And it will be throughout the match.
It will be throughout the match.
So that's the problem.
I remember one match Onana played.
One match, almost. I have more than.
You know why I'm remembering the match? The match is the match against when he has gone. When he is now in the place where he's doing his loan.
Okay.
That's Strasbourg. Now, when he went to Turkey, a match, he saved 5 goals and was scored 4.
So you saved 5
to receive
4
and considered 4.
Out of shot on target that was 9, you saved 5
and considered 4. Now I think that at some point he said, "I'm tired of. Please just be scoring."
That's what Onana can do for you. Sometimes he can be in that good frame of mind. He will make some saves that you say, "Wow, this is spectacular."
Yes,
fantastic.
In
that same match, after praising him for like 10 to 20 minutes, he will give you the. And
now
you begin to wonder, this is the person I was praising.
Do you get? Now let's talk about Manchester United goalkeeper. Since Manchester United signed Senne Lammens from Antwerp, from Aroya Antwerp, the Belgian side, he has actually been a solid goalkeeper for Manchester United, even though he has conceded. But you know that his concessions, him conceding goals, are not out of carelessness. No, it's just, this could be, this situation
anybody that is there
yes, of course. Now let's talk about the balance he brings. What do you think? Do you think he has leveled? Of course, he has not had as much as matches as David De Gea has had. No. But do you think, in comparison, we are having to someone very good as one of the best Premier League goalkeepers?
Well, I won't want to say that he has gotten to that De Gea's level yet. De Gea is an exceptional keeper. He's a fantastic keeper, but he has the capacity. He has the potential to get there. You can see some of his saves, even reflexes. He makes those saves looks easy. But one thing I want to also mention here is that Man U defense has also been, on top notch. So it's not like that defense that we used to have when Onana was there, because Onana was not controlling his defense. The
Yes.
keeper has the duty to also control your defense. It was not all his own. Is when you now concede, you will not look for Harry Maguire to put the blame on.
On, yes.
You will not see Maguire, you will not look for maybe Dalot to put the blame on. But the keeper has his own duty to first of all control your defense. Tell them their lines, tell them where to stay. Then the defense now for Manchester United, they're showing character.
The Manchester
They're showing
United
all
corner.
of them. You see Maguire doing his job. You see Martinez, even Dogu. If he's not playing attacking, he's doing his best.
He's going to
Sure,
score. He's
there.
going
He's
in
trying
to score.
to go and get the goal. But if they are being pressed, he's there to defend. This guy also Dallas. So I believe this season now they are like partnering with each other, understanding each other very well.
Okay.
I think that's also contributing to why they are conceding.
By their
less.
yes. Can we talk about if that is actually the Michael Carrick effect?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
You also say he has an effect.
He has an
because
effect.
This is the same team. This is the same players
Okay.
that Amorim was using.
Yes.
There's no new
He was
player.
the funny thing is that
He's the same
Amorim
player.
played these players out of position.
Most of them.
Most
played
of the players
out of position and
out of
played
position.
wrong formation.
And
That
played
formation 3-4-3 that he was
3-4-3,
using,
yes.
Manchester United does not.
Okay,
play
now
3-4.
do you now believe the pundits that said it is better to find, of course, not just all the pundits, I'm talking about, this was also said by Cristiano Ronaldo, that Manchester United problem, that it's someone that knows Manchester United that will come in to
Yes.
fix Manchester United.
No, I believe that.
I think I believe that too.
You are
because
even seeing it.
You are even
It's
seeing
not
it because
unbelievable.
Michael Carrick knows, he somehow I feel like he has that Fergie effect,
Yes.
where no giving up,
Yes.
no backing down until this match is over, even when it's not over. And looking at his changes so far, of course, there was this match he removed Casemiro that made the team to concede 2 goals. I think it was against Fulham.
Okay.
Yes, it was against Fulham. He removed Casemiro. Casemiro bringing the sauce, bringing the defense to the team has shaped the central midfield.
Of course.
But let me ask, who do you think in the whole of Premier League, or who do you think would be a better replacement for Casemiro?
Casemiro, right now in the Premier League.
Yes, like when the season ends, who do you think Casemiro would want to have as a Manchester United, of course, would want to have as a replacement for Casemiro?
Well, I don't think any club want to release their own defensive midfielder right now to Manchester United. Arsenal has.
What about Baleba?
Baleba,
I don't think Baleba
is not. It will be a good replacement too if he's going to meet up. But right now, even in Brighton, what is he doing? Is he really representing that defensive midfield that Casemiro is doing for Manchester United?
Okay.
So, but of course, there's always room for improvement.
For improvement,
So,
yes, of course.
And Manchester United was going for him then.
But his price is the price.
The money was not too much for me. It was not too much.
Well, it's
Manchester United can afford it.
they are looking at
him then.
they're looking at the quality of play. That was when Casemiro was not
Yes.
at his prime, at his best, of course. Well, I think we're going to see what happens at the end of the day, especially in the world of football, and we're going to see how it's going to be as FIFA gives their verdict today on the complaint lodged by
just hope it
NFF.
favours
We hope
Nigeria.
it will favor Nigeria, and we all are believing that we will have a return to the World Cup as it is and as we have all desired. Thank you very much for doing this with me this afternoon. Thank you very much, Wisdom.
Thank you.
The worldwide for
Worldwide Weno.
worldwide
You don't put
Weno.
that
No, I don't put Weno. Take your Weno and go. Thank you very much for doing this with me, and thank you very much for watching, for being here with me too. I am your one and only Sport Oracle. I'll bring you what it is, same time, same station, but not same time, but same station tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. We have started, and we're gonna move by the speed of light. Have a wonderful afternoon. Keep sporting. Bye.
Ohaneze Ndigbo worldwide heartily congratulate two illustrious sons and a daughter of Ali Igbo, namely Collins Obinachiweze, Shabuzi, Tyler Gregory Okoma, Tyler the Creator, and Cynthia Chinasa Onyedimonazo Ukebu Erivo on their historic victories at the 68th Grammy Awards held on 2nd February 2026. Their remarkable achievements across diverse creative fields stand as a powerful testament to the creativity, resilience, excellence, and global relevance of Igbo talent. By proudly carrying their Igbo identities and names onto the world's most prestigious cultural stage, they have brought immense honor to Nigeria and to Nigerians everywhere. Speaking on behalf of the global Igbo nation, the President General of Ohaneze Ndigbo Worldwide, Senator Azuta Mbata, stated, "These outstanding achievements reaffirm the timeless Igbo virtues of brilliance, hard work, innovation, courage, and perseverance. Our sons and daughters have once again demonstrated that wherever the Igbo find themselves, excellence follows, and they hoist the flag of Nigeria. We celebrate these winners not only for their personal success, but for elevating the Igbo name as Nigerian citizens with dignity and pride before the world." Ohaneze Ndigbo Worldwide thanks these award winners for being the worthy ambassadors of Igbo values and for inspiring millions of young people across the globe. Their journey sends a clear message to Igbo youth everywhere. Remain focused, law-abiding, resilient, and committed to excellence, knowing that integrity and perseverance can open doors on any global stage. As a people known for turning adversity into opportunity, Ndi Igbo remain proud contributors to national and global progress. Ohaneze Ndigbo Worldwide urges the government, institutions, and stakeholders to continue investing in structures that nurture talent, creativity, and enterprise so that future successes may flourish both at home and abroad. Once again, we celebrate these historic victories and salute all Igbo youths who continue to project the values of Ali Igbo with honor and distinction. Signed, Ezechi Chukwu, National Publicity Secretary, Ohaneze Ndigbo Worldwide.
Imo State unfolds like a living poem, a tapestry of memory, aspiration, and transformation. Here, history is not settled in the past, but continues to move forward, carried in the footsteps of Imolites, whose resolve and optimism animate every corner of the land. The people and their spirit Imolites are renewed for their courage, enterprise, and intellect. From the bustling avenues of Owerri to the rolling hills of Idato, both the young and the old carry a quiet, steadfast conviction. Education is not just a means to an end, but a calling. Their ambition lives in the classrooms, in labs, in markets, and in the global Imo diaspora. Imo's cultural heartbeat is rhythmic and rich. High-life melodies mingle with gospel harmonies and modern beats, each song echoing ancestral memory and youthful vigor. Traditional dances carry stories of community, origin, and resilience, even as innovation blossoms, rooted in respect for heritage. Infrastructure and roads. Under Governor Hope Uzodimma, Imo has undergone what many describe as a road revolution. The administration claims to have delivered over 120 quality roads within 5 years. Notable among them are the dualized Owerri-Olo and Owerri-Okigwe roads. The Mbidi Oguta Road and 18-kilometer dual carriageway was commissioned in early 2025, aiming to boost economic activities in Oru West and Oguta LGAs, especially by connecting to the Orashi Energy Free Trade Zone. Other signature infrastructure includes the Azamta flyover to decongest traffic and the Emmanuel Iwanyam International Conference Center, which has been built to world-class standards. Governor Uzodimma has also stated that these infrastructure investments are not just for mobility, but are economic corridors intended to stimulate trade, reduce travel time, and integrate Imo's communities more closely. Under human capital development, health and education, and on health, the Governor Uzodimma administration reports a comprehensive revamp. Renovation of 305 health centers, purportedly one in each electoral ward. Establishment of 55 new primary health centers announced in 2025 to expand access, particularly in rural areas. Construction of 3 new general hospitals at Ohaji, Oguta, and Omuma. Revitalization of the Imo State University Teaching Hospital and the Specialist Hospital, plus re-accreditation of nursing and midwifery schools. Creation of a state health insurance scheme known as Imo Health Insurance, which has reportedly covered more than 66,000 residents. Deployment of mobile clinics to reach rural and underdeserved communities. In education, Governor Uzodimma has significantly expanded tertiary education. What was once one functioning public university has grown to 3, along with a polytechnic and a college of education. He has also prioritized youth empowerment and governance that are strong signals of financial reforms. According to some reports, Uzodimma has focused heavily on capital spending, budgeting major parts of the state resources towards infrastructure and development. Then, Imo under Emeka Ihedioha, renewal and vision. While much of the recent narrative focuses on Governor Uzodimma, it is important to acknowledge the contributions of his predecessor, Chief Emeka Ihedioha. Through his rebuild Imo agenda, Chief Ihedioha prioritized environmental renewal. There were efforts to restore drainage, improve waste management, plant community trees, and reintroduce refuse compactor vehicles. He also restructured state finances, including implementing a treasury single account for greater financial discipline and automating revenue collection to improve the state's internally generated revenue. In agriculture, Chief Ihedioha launched an initiative called Rice Revolution to boost rice production, turn rural youths into farmers, and partner with the private sector for food security. For youth and sports, Chief Ihedioha's government reportedly worked on sports infrastructure across the 27 local government areas, envisioning healthy, active youth participation in sports. What truly defines Imo is its resilience. Where decay once prevailed, renewal now pauses. Where neglect reigned, leadership dares to imagine. The story of Imo is not only about roads and hospitals, it is about a people who refuse to accept stagnation, who carry their heritage with dignity, and who dare to dream of a better tomorrow. As night falls over palm-lined hills and Owerri streets, hum with life, Imo is not just a place, it is a promise built in classrooms, clinics, markets, and fields. In its people lies its greatest wealth, and in its bold, forward-looking dreams, its greatest power.
It is our utmost pleasure
to have you join Youth Focus once again on Aneke TV. It is the program that has a huge interest in understanding the lives and activities of the young people with an intensified effort to making them better. To achieve this, we make opinions, we give commendations, motivations, criticisms, and of course we give credits to you for being a regular participant on the program. Thank you so much. My name is Chukwamaka Omasi, and our topic for today is the responsible guy. Yes, the responsible guy. You can always find us on our socials, our Facebook page, our TikTok, our Instagram, and our YouTube at Aneke TV. Thank you so much. Let me introduce to you some guests we have on the studio today. They are very important personalities. And from my left, I have a teacher and a team coach working with the Queen's Model Schools, Enugu. His name is Ezinia Chineye Sharon. You're welcome on the show.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, I have a developmental consultant who is Wilfred Okeke. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you so much.
All right, going by our topic, the responsible guy. This leaves us with a nominal phrase that is made up of 3 component words. One is the determiner, which is the definite article, the. And the other one is the adjective, which is responsible. And then the last one is guy, which is a noun. Now, for the sake of clarity, Chinenye, let's understand whom a guy is.
Well, the word guy is something we normally use in the society. You're my guy, you're my G, you know. But it's more like an informal and friendly way of describing the male gender. So a guy can actually be a brother, can be a friend, can be your partner, and also your father. He's a human being. It's just the word we use to describe the male gender, which is the guy.
Oh, it goes across all the male gender?
Yeah.
Wilfred, I don't know how comfortable you are with the definition.
Well, I think there are those 2 genders, the male and the female. Yeah. And so, but basically defined by biology, and not just biology, by responsibility per se. You know, for instance, people are born either male or female. So if the person is born a male, the person it grows from a boy to become a man. You know, refer to that kind of a person as a guy or something like that. And as well, somebody who, just like you rightly put out in your introductory sentences, there are some other things that makes a person, a guy, per se, because we look at it from the social construct as there are certain responsibilities, there are certain expectations, that is expected of somebody who, you understand, is called a guy per se. And I believe we're going to talk in details some of these things when we proceed.
But I think there is a little shift from your definition and the one Chineye gave. Chineye, you're saying it applies to all male, beginning from birth, I think, to whenever. Yes. Now, what's the difference between a guy and a boy? Are they the same?
Well, when you add the adjective that you mentioned earlier, the responsible, then we can begin to look at, do they meet certain criteria or not, right? When a person is a male, the person is a male. Regardless of some of the people who will tell you that I don't want to go into that. But however, whoever is a guy, is a male. But whether the person lives up to the expectation of being responsible or meeting societal expectations, that is a conversation on the side. But however, going by biology, if you're born a man, if you're born a boy, you grow from being a boy into being a man, becoming a guy who society expects certain responsibilities from, or has certain expectations from the person. So if you're born a boy, you're a boy. No matter,
and you're a guy, automatically.
Exactly.
But you grow to become a guy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But whether the person becomes responsible or not, I think is a conversation for subsequent questions.
Let's take it up from there, Chineye. How can we define a responsible guy?
Being responsible, first of all, for me, it's all about accountability. Okay, someone who matches their words with their actions. Someone you don't really need to supervise. Somebody that can actually give you their words and they match it up. And it has to also do with integrity, and it has to do with character, because character speaks more of a person. You can't tell me I am this, and when you act, it doesn't align with your words. So for me, a responsible guy is someone that can actually be held accountable with his words, with his character, with his behavior, with or without being supervised. Okay, it's someone that actually is intentional when it comes to relating with people around him, whether the opposite sex or his own gender. Thank you.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. Then, Wilfred, what's the difference now between, because it's talked about integrity, to a responsible guy, who is the man of integrity? Or what's the difference between integrity and the responsibility? Like being responsible.
Yeah, just like the word responsibility, that's the ability to be responsive. Just like I said, that there are certain expectations. And it's also good to go deeper into this conversation to understand the nitty-gritties. Because when we look at our society, and that's where we have this mix-up, there are certain expectations that is expected of a man. And some of these expectations can be troubling. They can be concerning. For instance, if you're somebody, a guy, a man, or a boy rather, who is going to be of certain age, a youth and all that, and you don't respond to situations in a certain way, people will say this one is not a guy, meaning that this one is less of a man. We have a society that sees manhood or being a guy as all patriarchal. It's all about the man. For instance, when you respond, if you don't respond violently to situations, they'll say this one is not a guy. If somebody steps on your toe and you don't assert your position and say, my friend, why did you step on my? They say this one is a toe. Go to schools, go to secondary schools, for instance. Those boys who are calm, are gentle, they say, this one that he behaves like a woman. So in that sense, he doesn't fit to be called a guy, and it's problematic because just like she said, it's being accountable, holding yourself to account. It's being responsive, knowing that there are certain things that is expected of you, right? Not just by being aggressive. That's what we define manhood as, being suppressive. Trying to bully every girl or woman around you so that you claim that you are a real guy. No, these are some of the expectations of society. But are they right? The answer is no. So we really need to begin to redefine what it is to be a guy, because it has to do with emotions. Being emotionally intelligent, understanding that people around you need also to be loved, supported, and cared for. Right? So that's what adds responsibility to it. And integrity is just like integrity is staying true to your word. Right? When you go to families, for instance, you find fathers who place a rule in the house, but they don't keep it. Do you understand?
Okay.
So because they think they are somewhat above the law. And so that's what, for instance, you see a guy and a girl who are in a relationship. The guy is free to go through the girl's phone to check who has she called today and what has she not called. But the girl dares not do that.
Before we come to the relationship aspect of it, something struck my mind when you were speaking. So have you heard of Jew guy before? That this one is a Jew guy. Yeah. What's the interpretation of that?
He's not man enough. He doesn't have the liver.
Yeah.
He doesn't have what it takes to, probably when it comes to wooing a girl, you are cutting liver. You can't even talk to this girl. Or when it comes to the secret cults, I'm in this, I'm in that. I'm a church boy, I'm a mommy's boy. I beg you, a Jew guy.
A Jew guy.
You're not doing well.
Is that the reason why it's related to Jew?
Just like I said, it has to do with the male gender.
Okay. All right. Wilfred, Chineke has given us a lot of the qualities of a responsible guy to the much he knows. But this may be limitless. Is there other she didn't mention that you have to tell us?
Plenty.
Okay.
I also mentioned, someone I was talking about. There's this concept we're trying to promote, which we call the positive masculinity. Wherein men are trained to behave differently from the way it used to be. You have what you call gender roles, for instance. We grew up with the knowledge or with the perception that as a boy, you don't go to the kitchen to prepare food. Right? So when any boy who goes to the kitchen means you're not man enough. There are certain duties you don't perform at home because you're a guy. Right? And that's a problem. So what it means is that, for instance, as a guy, for instance, now you have a partner who has gone to work just like you went to work. She's come back, maybe came back later than you did. You expect her to go make all the meals, do the dishes, take care of other things, but you wouldn't do that.
Because you're a guy.
Because you're a guy. That doesn't make you responsible. That means you're not responsible. If you stay in the client, if you stay, for instance, in UK, where people run shifts, you have, maybe you're staying with your partner, you have a child or something, you know, everybody has to go to work. You may not be able to afford to pay a nanny, maybe the minimum wage, maybe about 12, 13 pounds per hour. So you just have to do the job. So that means if you have a woman, a partner who works, doesn't mean you won't change the diapers. Doesn't mean you won't, you know. So these are some of the things that we think makes us a guy. But not performing some of these responsibilities at home makes you irresponsible.
In quotes.
In quotes. Because that's the way we see it, that you not doing it makes you the man. But it's actually wrong. So we need to begin to deconstruct this, you know, this perception of masculinity, of being a guy, because that's what has been fueling gender-based violence in our society. So there has to be a deconstruction, you know, of that. It's actually an internalized concept. We grew up with it,
and it takes lots of effort to decentralize it.
Exactly, we were born into it, so we think that is the way it is. It doesn't happen like that anywhere. A guy, sometimes you feel that a guy, when you take your partner out on a date, you have to pay the bills because you're a guy. If you don't pay the bills, that means you're not. It's actually wrong. In some clients, when you go out on a date, you pay your bill, I pay my bill. But go
and it is so. All right, if it is now you're joining us, this is Youth Focus on Aneke TV. Our topic for today is the responsible guy, a very funny one. Thank you so much. And I have my guest here, I have Chineye, and I have Wilfred. We are moving ahead. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, Chineye, let's take it from another dimension. Yes, could you please define a responsible guy in business when it comes to business?
That business setting, it's always, I've had encounters, okay? So for me, a responsible guy in business is someone that does his business and runs it in a right way. And this is where you consider the interests of those you employed and the people you partner with, because there's some business you partner with other persons. Okay. So it's not just you. So whatever you're doing, you're considering those working for you and those you are partnering with. Now this is somebody that follows the law. This is somebody that sticks to his word. I know of my brother, there was a day he had someone to come and do something for him. This guy told him, okay, I'm bringing in this stuff, just make the payments. Next day you're going to get the goods you paid for. He waited for almost 1 month. 1 month. In fact, my brother had to threaten him with police just to make sure that goods was actually delivered. So there's some people, when they are doing business, I believe that a responsible guy is someone who is he doesn't consider the now. He considered that there could be other business that can come up later. So you don't just close a door because I want to get it now. He considers that this is the business I'm doing now. So these can actually open doors to better streams of income or streams of business opportunities for me. So for someone who is responsible and is into business, he does his business in the right way. The interests of his employers and the employees, those he employed, and his partners, he always have his in mind, and he keeps to the law, because he knows that anytime I break this law just to cut corners, this business can actually fold. So he's intentional with the business.
He's intentional.
Very intentional.
No, that's very correct. And Chine has spoken to us about the responsible guy in business from the aspect of being prudent. You understand? Then I want you to come in from the accountability and honesty.
Yeah, you know, we see a lot of sharp practices in business. You know, and that's why sometimes people say, oh, this one is a guy man. Because you're able to cheat people, and we see a lot of that. You know, let me give you for instance, just like she said, it has to do with, you know, being responsive, or not just about being responsive, being, you know, having value, you know, putting in place a value system that ensures that you do not compromise on those values or those standards. You know, there are, for instance, people who tailors who just it was just season the other time. You know, you find tailors who would want to collect all the jobs. They know quite alright that they will not be able to meet up with delivering on these jobs, but they just want to take it because you have to pay them some commitments in advance, and they collect from A, they collect from B, and they give you the same date of delivery. When it's the day, they are running around because they know they can. I mean, there's no way they can meet up with all this demand. But there are some other people who, for instance, whether you're giving them a job of 1 million and they know the table is already saturated, there's no way they can deliver. They will tell you promptly that we won't be able to take this job, not because they don't want the money, but because they don't want to compromise, their integrity, right? And that's somebody who is responsible in business, right?
Are there people like that?
There are.
What about that saying that there is no honest man in business?
There are. Honestly, I've had one. Very, very honest. He will tell you if something he cannot do, he will not take it. And that's him for you. He will tell you, see, I have this to do, so give me from now to now. And that particular date he gives you is what he sticks to. Exactly. He has made name for himself.
Exactly.
Honestly. And that's one thing I always applaud him for. Honestly, that's him. I always come a man of integrity. That's what I call him. Honestly.
All right.
I also quickly wanted to because of our viewers, it's also important to let young people know. Another angle is that you find people who, for instance, who are skilled workers. Whether the artisans or whatever, people go to learn a skill. You've gone to learn how to, maybe you want to learn plumbing. You've learned it for just 2 months, and you think you're settled. You can take jobs and live by yourself. And before you know it, you mess up people's jobs. That doesn't make you responsible. So the responsibility in business is also knowing that you have to deliver qualitatively at every time. So it takes you time to nurture those skills to be able to deliver. And that's why you find people will always say, there's this general
yes, you can't trust them.
Yes, because
that's actually the aspect I'm coming from.
Most times they are not diligent enough to acquire the skills, to learn the skills. Somebody wants to become a tailor. He learns it for 2 months. He's opened the shop. He's looking for somebody to, somebody to spoil the clothes and begin to go from one police station to the other. That's what we see today.
And that's actually a dent on their personality.
Exactly. So that doesn't make you responsible. So it's also a matter of making sure that you deliver qualitatively, you deliver value, you don't compromise on standards at any time. That's what makes you a responsible person in business.
All right.
Bringing it back home.
A little bit, Chinaya. Who's a responsible guy in the intake of alcohol? I know babes take alcohol as well, but we're concentrating on the guys taking in of alcoholic.
Dear Lord, that area.
Yes.
Oh well.
Do you take alcohol?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't. Okay. So, but in that area, I think it has to do with self-discipline. Okay. For me, that's what it means. Okay. I'm a responsible guy, so when it comes to that area, I think the others are doing it does not mean I should do it. If it is something I know I cannot. I can't do something to please you, and at the end of the day, I start messing up. I know of a story of a guy that went out with his friends. That was a party though. He doesn't take alcohol, but just because of the pressure from his friends.
Because we called the Jew guy in that sense.
So much.
Referred to as a Jew guy.
To prove a point, he had it. And it was a terrible experience. Like, he messed up himself, he threw up on himself, it was just an eyesore, okay? So, for me, a responsible guy is someone that sticks to his word. He's not being pressurized to do something he doesn't want to do. And when it comes to alcohol, it's something you cannot do based on your capacity, okay? You just don't go into it just to prove a point. I don't need to prove to you that I'm a guy. I don't need to prove to you that I'm a man. I don't need to. Me proving it to you, that means it's the other way around. So it's just someone that is self-control and self-discipline when it comes to that area.
All right. Wilfred.
Yes.
How responsible are you when it comes to intake of alcohol? As a person, this is personal.
Okay. Well, of course you would expect a bias in that question, even if I wasn't responsible. But really, just like she said, it's important that, because I believe this program is all about educating people as well. We should all understand that, that there are certain boundaries we shouldn't cross. I was just having a conversation with somebody. We were in Imo State last week, and we saw a guy who was so high on a substance. People were talking to him, he was not responsive. I was telling my friends, I said, what is the need, or why do people abuse substances like this? Something that you take, and you don't even know where you are again. You don't even know if somebody has collected your phone or not. So I think we should have, we should put ourselves in check at every time. Let me tell everybody watching this program that the number of the bottles of alcohol you take does not make you a real guy. You can go out for social events and stick to saying, I can have a glass of water, I'm okay with that. It doesn't undermine you, it doesn't make you less of a man.
And you remain a Jew guy.
No, you're not. That's what we're saying. Exactly. You're not. You can decide if it's a bottle that, you can decide to stay on that. Some people measure manhood and being a guy by the number of alcohol bottles you're able to consume. You say that this one does only one bottle in a drink.
And you are saying it's wrong.
Absolutely wrong. Absolutely. In all ramifications, it is very wrong. So we should understand that, right? And just like you mentioned, let us not, one thing with young people is that we're so much influenced by peer pressure. I went to a Zag one time with some of my friends. That's been a long time. And in the morning, about 12, 13 people, we went to their stream there to swim. And I had never entered a bathtub, talking of a swimming pool before, not talk of that river. And everybody was jumping into the water, swimming, they would do. And they were asking me, are you not going to jump? Are you not going to? I told them I was feeling cold. They said, no, the water is warm. I was looking for an excuse not to. Eventually,
you did.
I jumped into the river. The rest is history. So, I mean, so, and with people are pressured like that. You go out of a all your friends are smoking, all of them are drinking, you don't drink, you feel old. No, man, you're not old, man. You have to stick to your value. Don't compromise it no matter what.
Okay, speak to your value and don't compromise it no matter what. All right, actually, let me come back to you. A non-responsible guy. Is it not possible that a non-responsible guy can mistakenly behave irresponsibly? Does he make the guy an irresponsible person? Did you get my question?
Please repeat.
For instance, let me use myself as an example. The first time I tested Campari, the first time was in a wedding reception. We were on a round table. I never tested it. And those guys there, they said, you have to mix it up with Heineken. There were some bottles of Heineken they mixed. I was sipping, they were sipping. What happened to me that night was history, like you said. I was thinking I was a responsible guy. But if somebody has seen what happened to me that night, that person will conclude that this guy is an irresponsible human being. So supposing a responsible guy, a well-known responsible guy, behaves irresponsibly, mistakenly, what happens?
It still doesn't make you an irresponsible guy.
Yeah.
It makes you human, okay? Every human being has their strengths and their weakness, okay? Now, the thing that happens is this. When you see yourself, even the Bible says, let he that thinks he stands, okay, takes heed.
Okay.
Lest he falls. So, there are times we make mistake. Now, your ability to learn from it makes you a better person. Okay, so for someone to mistakenly must have demonstrated an act of irresponsibility, it does not generalize the fact or give the person the final name or that name tag. This person is irresponsible. The mistake the person has done it. So what do? You learn from it, because that makes you human being. Because if you are perfect, that means you are God. So when you make mistake, what do? You learn from it and you do better.
And I also think responsibility or being responsible is not a badge that you place on your face and you're walking around with it, or it's not a status that you attain. It's just this consciousness of trying to make yourself better. Trying to get good outcomes at every given time. Sometimes when you step out from the studio, somebody can actually provoke you. You can enter a bus and the conductor refuses to give you your change that you bargained for. That's a test on your responsibility. How you respond to that aggression or that provocation at that time. But also, it's something that we have to walk around with, that consciousness that every time I need to give a good account of myself. I need to behave. If there are mistakes I made yesterday, I can learn from them and learn not to make those mistakes again. That's what makes me responsible. So it's not like a status that somebody attains and they say, okay, this one is responsible and it's still good. No, it's a work in progress. So you just have to every time have that consciousness that you just need to behave yourself properly at every time.
All right, thank you so much. I want to say So far, so good. Yeah. Yes, we are doing it. We want to observe just a short break. When we are back, we'll look at who a responsible guy should be in a relationship, especially opposite sex relationship. Let us observe just a short break. We shall be right back.
Need ad replacements, coverage for events, or the latest news stories? Call 070-3043-7.
All right, back from the short break. We are still on the program Youth Focus on Aneke TV. Our topic for today is the responsible guy. And as a matter of fact, we have had a wonderful discussants here. The panelists are made up of a teacher and a team coach that is working with Twins Model School Enugu here. He is Ezenia Chinua Sharon. He is here and he is ready to continue. And then I have a developmental consultant who is Wilfred Okeke. Let us continue. Thank you so much. Before we went on the short break, we were talking about a responsible guy in an opposite sex relationship. You're a guy in a relationship. Who is a responsible guy?
Well, that's really, it's really broad, because there are various case scenarios that will prove how responsible the person is. But I'll just try to highlight some of the very common ones that we see every time.
Okay.
Remember earlier I mentioned about trying to invade your partner's privacy because you want to keep an eye on every of our movement. It's not responsibility. It's irresponsibility.
Okay.
For instance, mobile phones are private properties. So it has to be based on consent. So if you want to check my phone, I do have to give you that consent. If I don't give you that consent, you're actually invading my privacy, and that's what it is. Right? That's what it is. So if you're somebody who is fond of,
but don't you think in a relationship that implies distrust? That if you don't allow me to check your phone, there's something that is hidden in that phone you don't want it to know about. If there are babes, they will tell you are double dating. You must have had some girls that are calling you, that are sending you messages, and you don't want me to see them. That is why I don't want to go to your phone.
That's what the society expects. And that's why we see, like I mentioned earlier, that's why we have issues of domestic violence every time. I'm saying that, there are properties that are personal to you. Even if I have a car, for instance, I have to give you a consent for you to be able to use that car. If it's a lady who has the car, she also has to give me consent for me to. So there has to be that mutual respect. So if there is no respect, that means you're not responsible. And even if you want to have maybe have an intercourse with your partner, it has to be consensual. I mean, the person has to agree to it. Yes, if the person doesn't, whether you paid the bride price or you're married to the person, that's what we're saying.
But I am thinking that this is more applicable in the Western world, where they know their boundaries, they know their rights, everybody knows it's right and our right.
Why don't we
know their boundaries and everything? We are not the same. This is a different climb. Yes, we are not. Our traditions are not the same. I'm not suggesting, but I am thinking so. Can it ever be the same here?
Okay, just like, see, the thing is this, when we have this mindset, okay, what is applicable there, why can't it be applicable here? And that's why things get wrong every day. If some abnormalities are not corrected, it passes on to the next generation.
But don't you think that lifestyle and their lifestyle are not exactly the same?
It's not the same.
It's not exactly the same. I'm not thinking so.
It's just our mindsets. Now, when you were exposed to, I was talking with a colleague today, I was like, do you know that growth only comes when you're open to learning? Now, there's some things and probably you've sat with someone who is educated, or you read a book, or you listened to something. It changes your ideology, it changes your mindset. Now, what does it do to you? Now, you will have to unlearn, you relearn and learn. And that is growth. That's when you talk, the way you talk, your mindset about an idea changes from other people. Why? Because you're open to growth. There's some things we have allowed and it becomes a norm. And that's why most guys, they have this mindset, is the man's word, is the guy's word, so anything can happen. That's what it's not supposed to be that way.
Very wrong.
It's not supposed, just like he said, it should be a mutual thing. Like in a relationship, I believe a guy should be able to protect his partner, not control or manipulate or dominate. You don't do that.
If he does, it's not responsible.
It's not responsibility. You are not being responsible. So that means you are trying to bully someone into, I don't know, or putting someone to behave the way you. The person is not a robot, for God's sake. He's a human being that has a body, spirit, and soul.
Has emotions.
And has emotions too. You don't just pause the person's emotion and say behave. You don't do that way. Okay, it's somebody that leads with love, maturity, and respect. When a lady is being disrespected, how does it work? Like, how do you want her to be? The word, how do you want her to follow your leading? You lead by example. You can't do one thing and you want me to trust you, and that is where trust comes in. You can't give me this, you are treating me this way, and you want me to be committed to that relationship, or it doesn't work that way. So it's a narrative that has to be dealt with when it comes to a responsible guy in a relationship. That narrative has to be worked on. If not, that's where problem always comes on. And that's the one thing that breaks my heart is it passes from generation to another. We all have sisters, we have daughters, and if this is not handled, definitely we're going to come to who, as in the duties of people, to raising the raising of the boy child, because I feel there is something, a job has to be done. Probably something was missing somewhere, and that's why they grew up to have that mindset.
All right, your points are taken.
Okay, sorry, my problem with some of the things that you mentioned is that most times when it's one-sided, we all grew up from families. You know, for instance, that most of the families we grew up from, you know, once it's 6 o'clock and the woman is not at home, it's a problem. But the man can stay out till 12 a.m. He can even sleep outside. Nobody dares ask him, okay, where are you coming from? But the woman does not. So it shouldn't be like that. So if you have the same right you have to ask your partner, where have you been? She also has the right to ask you, where have you been?
Accountability. Accountability. That's everybody has the rights.
Okay, because when it comes to rights, you are equal.
Yes.
And you are equal in everything.
So if she doesn't have the right to ask you, where are you coming from? You don't even have the right to ask her where she's coming from. So that's just it.
Okay, no problem. I agree with you. Whole and entire. Then let's come back a little bit to where we started. We're talking about checking of phones. Supposing the two partners now. I have my phone, I don't want you to check it because it's my privacy. And you're my partner, I've trusted so much. Then you have your phone, you wouldn't want to check it. No problem, it's not an issue. You stay with yours, I stay with mine. Now supposing I want you to check mine. This is my phone. Check my WhatsApp chat, check everything about it. But I don't want you to check yours.
Probably you have deleted some things, and that's why
what if you have not deleted anything?
What if?
What if you have not deleted anything?
What if in nets? You can't just wait.
What if you didn't delete anything?
And see my WhatsApp.
Let me see
your own. Are you saying, listen?
You have done underground cleaning.
And that means invariably there are things the other folk is hiding. No, yes. If you say you deleted some things and I wouldn't give you my phone, why instead, because you are giving me yours, if there is something I'm not giving you my phone, does it not mean invariably there is something that is in your phone I don't want you to see?
Well, relationships are built on trust.
Trust.
Right? And that's why I don't even need to check.
Okay.
Because I assume I want to give you that benefit of doubt. Right? I want to give you that benefit of doubt. That doesn't rule out the fact that sometimes you could have I'm not saying that you don't have the right to go, that you cannot touch the phone. But what I'm saying is that if you want to make use of it, sorry, can I make a call with your phone? You can tell me, hey, I want to make a call with your phone. And I wouldn't tell you no. I would say take. Well, where it becomes a problem for me is when you try to invade somebody's privacy without the person's consent. And like I mentioned, it's not just about phone. Even when you want to have an intercourse, sometimes when the person says no, irrespective of the fact that you're married to this person, that's a no. I mean, everybody cannot be in the mood every time. That's respect. You respect, that's respect. You respect for the fact that maybe she's gone to work, she's tired, she needs to have a rest. But you can't say, no, I paid your buy price, that you must.
I was going to ask you a question.
That's where it comes wrong.
We've looked at a situation whereby I have my privacy, I don't want you to check my phone, and you have yours.
Yes.
You don't want me to check yours. Be with your phone, and I will be with my phone, no problem. Then, in another case scenario, we are check my phone, no problem. You want me to check yours, no problem. So you can go to anywhere you want to go on my phone, and I can go to anywhere I want to go on your phone. Is there any problem?
No, it's a mutual thing.
That's no problem. Now you talked about secrets. For instance, in a marriage setting, what is secret to the other partner?
No, I didn't mean secret. I said, see,
privacy is secret.
You know, what it means. I mean, there are simple decorums. There are etiquettes. I mean, these are as simple as, you know, we're here together in this studio. Maybe we could be friends. We're friends, all of us. I cannot, even if you leave your phone unlocked, and you stepped out. It's wrong for me to take your phone and start dialing the number without telling you. That's a simple ethics.
Well, I am happy we are bringing it home.
Yeah,
but this is not how we were made.
That's what we're saying. That's what
it is not.
What I'm saying is that, just like she said, these things are. Igbo said, when something that is being done over time, no matter how good it is or bad, it becomes a culture. This has become a culture, and this culture has exacerbated gender-based violence. Have you looked at the number of domestic violence that we have? It's because we keep doing these things that we've learned from our forefathers and all that, from our fathers, and we think it is right. And that is why, there's a lot of bad people get married today, they separate tomorrow. We need to begin to understand that responsibility is about respect. It's about showing emotions. It's about being emotionally intelligent. It's about being supportive. Right? Being supportive. The woman is there, your partner, she's washing from morning till night, she's doing this, and all you do is to sit back at the sitting room and press your phone or watch television. That doesn't make you responsible. So you can actually even help out in the kitchen. That doesn't make you less of a man. You can help out in cleaning the house. You can help because what you have is a partner. It's not like a slave.
Washing her clothes.
Exactly.
All.
If you want to that's fine.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is that I'm not saying that you must be maybe as petty as no. I'm saying that you have to support.
Okay. That's taking. Let me come back a little bit because I think we're getting signals all over there. You mentioned something. We're still under the responsible guy in a relationship. Then you mentioned something that the guy wants to have an intercourse with the opposite partner. You have to take permission or write a letter. If you don't, Chine, please come in.
Dear Lord, I don't think I heard where he said write a letter. But I don't know about any other person, but I feel this sex thing, it has to do with the heart. Okay, and imagine whereby you as the partner, the guy, you've not been supportive throughout the day, or there was a problem, you verbally abused her, and then in the night you were expecting somebody to, how does it work? Like, I'm looking at how it works. I don't even want to imagine how it will work, because it's going to be a tough one. Okay, somebody said, Pastor Nick said something in his book Unstoppable. He said, you first of all touch the heart before you touch the hand. So just like he said, imagine during the day, the woman has been everywhere. She takes care of the kids, she's in the kitchen, she's doing laundry, she's doing that.
We're discussing the responsible guy. Yes,
and then you now want to, I feel as a responsible guy, when the lady says, please dear, I'm tired. Oh, it's okay.
What of please dear, I need it. Please dear, I just need it.
Let me tell you, it might not really happen like now. You could allow her to sleep. People can do it early morning. It doesn't have time. It's timeless, okay?
Like, dear, I need it now, please.
You are not.
Please, delay can be dangerous.
The Bible says we should be considerate with the way we live with our wives. The Bible says so. So you have seen her activities, except for a woman that pretends, except a woman that wants to use it as a weapon, or maybe there's. But if it's truly,
all right. Chile, I think you have more to tell us on this. You have more to tell us on this.
I really wanted to ask you a rhetorical question. You've gone to the market to buy something. You have 100 naira in your pocket, and you've gone to the market and you discover that the price of that thing is 150. Would you say to the person, you must give me this thing at 100 naira because I came out with 100 naira? You negotiate with the person.
Persuade even.
You understand?
No problem.
You get?
I get.
The person is timeless.
I did. No problem. Let us quickly look at a responsible guy who is unmarried now.
Yeah.
And then premarital relationship or premarital sex. Is he still responsible? Is at peace with his partner? They love themselves. Probably they want to get married, and they come close to each other, and eventually it happens. Is he still a responsible guy?
Well, I'll answer your question from. Let me answer the question from. For instance, I'm a Christian. All of our audience may not be Christians, and people will have their different view. From the Christian point of view, I think it is wrong, right? And yeah, so from the Christian lens as well.
Okay.
Anybody who does that would be seen as doing something not just irresponsible, but a sin.
Now, they went from this Christian point of view. Is it right?
I don't know from other point of view because I'm a Christian, so I only talk from what I know. You understand? So people could have different opinions. I mean, that's their own. I mean, it may be wrong, it may be right. That's not my business. But I'm saying because I'm a Christian, this is my opinion based on the Christian values that I believe in. Some other person can have different opinion, but as a Christian, I don't know what it is for for Muslims. I don't know what it is for Buddhists or maybe people who practice traditional religion. But I'm saying, from what I know as a Christian, this is what it is.
No problem. That is when the Christianity is taken the way it should be taken.
Yes.
But in some cases, where even the guy pretends he's a Christian, no problem, let us not do it. And the lady says, I need this, so Christian or no Christian, the girl, I need this, please.
Okay.
Help me out, stop starving me.
Do you know, let me tell you, in fact, this just reminded me of a friend. He said the girl he was meeting, he was dating them. But that was the same pressure the girl mounted, because he is from a Christian home that believes in, okay, you keep yourself till you get married. So the particular girlfriend he had was pressurizing him, like, I want it now, look at other guys after me, what don't I have, am I not this and that? Do you know that by the time this guy had to, it was like Samson, you know, show me where your power is, at the end of the day he succumbed. Do you know this guy's life? He said his life was like, his life, he didn't get himself or get into a year plus. In fact, he had to confess. He went he had to go to his family, his house. He had a mentor. He was kept under check. It affected him. This is something he didn't want to do, but he was pressurized. So I feel a responsible guy, when it comes to that, as an unmarried person, stick to your values. Just like he said, have your boundaries. If it means have your meeting places and an open place, it will help. Flesh and blood, they your skin. So try to stay in an open place that will not bring about those things. That's how you work.
All right, thank you so much, Chineye.
Yam and goats.
Thank you so much, teacher and a tea coach working with Grace Model School Enugu. Thank you so much, Ezinlia Chineye Sharon. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, our developmental consultant Wilfred Okeke. Thank you so much. Because of time, we're going to draw the curtain here to continue next time, because he who fights and runs away lives to fight another day. And I will thank you so much for being there. It has been a nice time we shared with you discussing the responsible guy. Please watch out for part 2. My name is Chukwemeka Obasi. Thank you.
Need advert placements, coverage for events, or the latest news stories? Call 070 3043.
Morning headlines before you step out. Midday updates while you work. Evening analysis when the day winds down. Wherever life takes you, Aneke TV keeps you informed, connected, and ahead. Aneke TV. Move with the world.
Ebonyi State, the salt of the nation. Located in the heart of southeastern Nigeria, is a story of transformation, resilience, and pride. Created on October 1, 1996 by the administration of General Sani Abacha, the state was carved out from parts of Enugu and Abia states. Its capital, Abakaliki, has grown from a quiet provincial settlement into one of the most rapidly developing urban centers in the region. The name Ebonyi is derived from the Ebonyi River, while its slogan, the salt of the nation, reflects the state's historic salt deposits in Amachara and Uburu, which were once central to trade and local industry. These salt lakes stand as living symbols of self-reliance and the resourcefulness of the Ebonyi people. Culturally, Ebonyi is a proud custodian of Igbo heritage. The people are known for their strong communal spirit, creativity, and deep connection to their traditions. The New Yam Festival, Ogene music, Nkwa Umuaboho dance, and the colorful displays of masquerades all reflect the beauty and vibrancy of the state's cultural life. In villages across the land, pottery, weaving, and blacksmithing are still practiced, reminding visitors that in Ebonyi, the past lives side by side with modern aspirations. Blessed with rich soil and abundant natural resources, Ebonyi is a major producer of rice, yam, cassava, maize, and palm produce. The Abakaliki rice mill, one of the oldest in Nigeria, remains a symbol of the state's agricultural heritage and its determination to feed the nation. Beneath its soil lie deposits of limestone, lead, zinc, marble, and of course, salt, all pointing to vast opportunities for industrial growth and investment. Over the years, Ebonyi has produced remarkable men and women who have made their mark on the national stage. Dr. Sam Igu, the state's first civilian governor and the former Minister of Education. Chief Martin Elichi, an accomplished administrator. Senator Anyim Pius Anyim, a former Senate President and Secretary to the Government of the Federation, and Engineer David Umahi, a visionary leader and the current Minister of Works, all embody the drive and discipline that define the Ebonyi spirit. From education to public service, from entrepreneurship to civic leadership, Ebonians continue to excel and inspire a new determined to shape a brighter future. The lessons from Ebonyi's story are clear. It teaches the power of vision, unity, and perseverance. It reminds us that no beginning is too humble and no dream too distant. Through hard work and community efforts, the people of Ebonyi have turned their challenges into opportunities, rewriting their destiny with faith and determination. Today, Ebonyi stands tall, a land of salt and substance, of culture and courage, of tradition and transformation. The salt of the nation continues to shine, seasoning the story of Nigeria with hope, progress, and pride.
From the tiniest cells to the farthest galaxies, life holds secrets we are only beginning to uncover. Why are we here? What connects us all? What unseen forces shape our destiny? Join Professor Jude Udenta as he explores the wonders, the questions, and the revelations that define existence. Mysteries of life, where every answer sparks a new discovery. Watch now on Aneke TV every Monday.
Good day, viewer. You're welcome to our program, The Mysteries of Life. Today's program may not look so mysterious, but by the time we enter into it, you might find the mysteries involved in it. When Ikemba Nnewi, Dikodiorama one of Igbo land, came back from Ivory Coast, the community, I'm talking about the whole Igbo community, wanted to give him a title. And they said, do not call me chief. Because people were calling me thief, and I think that they're calling me chief. They now went on, the committee went on to name him Dim Ikemba Dikediorama one of Igbo land. That is one part of what we are looking at. Who is a chief in Igbo land? Then we have another one which we normally celebrate, who is an Ozo in Igbo land. Then we have another one that sometimes people answer, they will say Nze Nozo society. I don't understand that. And with me decided to look into this particular issue because we are talking of the cosmology of our people. In fact, when we started here, the Reverend among us was trying to explain a number of things about marriage, and I was laughing because what he said makes a lot of sense. So in our case today, we have an issue, and the issue that looks like a chain is Nze, Ozo, and Chief in Igbo land. We know who the Igbos are. We don't need to start taking our time explaining the Igbos. We are the Igbos. We are the Igbos. In fact, if you look at the whole world issue, you cannot say that you don't know the Igbos. We are the Igbos. So we don't want to take our time in that regard. But we want to take our time in regard to this Nze, also, and the chief in Igbo land. And we're going to look into this particular matter. We have, by my right, and the white, President White, and also himself, Obunnaya, Gabriel, and Nichukwu. Obunnaya, welcome to the program.
Prof, thank you.
Thank you. And then, of course, by my left, we have our brother, who is a reverend of the Assemblies of God Mission, seeing about the young ones, the children, which makes him very, very important. So we have our brother, Reverend Carlo Oka. Am I right?
Reverend Oka Uche Carlo.
Okay, Reverend Oka Uche Carlo. Yes. Reverend Oka Uche Carlo. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir. The pleasure is mine.
Yeah, I want to start with you. This thing called, I know it's an answer, but let me start with Nze. What do you understand by this thing we call Nze in Igbo land? Who is an Nze?
In Igbo land, it is prevalent, as long as my knowledge can carry, that is the people of Anambra that practice more of Nze and also as a title. Nze is a title, also is also a title. But that Nze in particular, or rather both of them, plays a pivotal role in communal coordination and leadership role in Igbo land.
Okay.
Yes, they play a very strong pivotal role. That is to say that a person that holds the Nze title is considered a prominent figure, is considered a respected figure, is considered a mouthpiece.
Okay.
That is all I know
about Nze.
Yes.
So also, I mean, because I'm at home now, because you are an Ozo. Who is an Ozo in Igbo land? Maybe in Nume, Onateza, who is an Ozo? Because I'll come back to him, but since you are an Ozo, because he says he's not from his own community, but you are an Ozo. Who is an Ozo? And what are those things that we look out for when we talk of an Ozo?
Also is a title given to prominent indigenes of a particular town in Igbo land. Being prominent is not about wealth. I'm talking people of who have integrity, who have shown a life that is above board as it concerns morality, moral discipline. Persons who I can say ranks equivalent of cardinal in the Catholic Church. That's why most also appear in red, white and red. There are people who ensure that the ethics and the spiritual life of the town is sustained. They ensure that unsan abominations are not tolerated. There are people who maintain a kind of, they sustain the spiritual order of the society. And let me remind you that also somebody who is an Nze from Nze, not every Nze is an Ozo, but every Ozo is an Nze. It's a higher hierarchy who are in charge of the theocratic government of the pre-modern Igbos.
Okay.
They ensure that disputes are resolved in line with the Christocentric philosophy of the golden rule. Because when you talk of golden rule, it's not only Christian. It's Christ achieved in that theory, but it's still other religions. So there are people who ensure that when disputes, when there is crisis in a town, the Ozos, the Nze and the Ndiozo are highly required to resolve that dispute on the table of truth, no spiritual argument. On the table of truth, on the altar of truth, no spiritual argument. They ensure that there's what we call restorative justice in resolving conflicts.
Okay, so that is the position of the Ozo.
So they guide the government of the, in the pre-modern Igbos, we don't have Igwes and all these kings except Aro or Nri. So the Ozos were people who were in charge of the administration. That's as the Igbo ways. Does not mean it goes on that, but Nze also are people who guide the administration of the town to ensure that our deity is not desecrated, because it is the ideals committed that desecrate the Allah deity. So any trace of desecration of pollution of the Allah deity, the Ozos and the Nze will ensure that those who did it cleanse. It must be cleansed for that, because when the Allah deity is maintained, all things flourishes. Okay. Everything will flourish.
Okay. So back to you, Reverend Oka. Now, he has mentioned also, you mentioned Nze. The confusion that we are having, because the young ones, the viewers are listening to us, and I want to separate the Ozo and even though they normally say Nze not come to us, they will say Nze not society. It looks as if they are the same. And essentially, some of us associate Ozo Nze with wealth, then also, like you said, with morality.
No, Nze goes with morality, also with wealth. But
Nze goes with morality.
In short, Nze are in charge of maintaining the moral order.
Okay.
Then also is in charge of maintaining the spiritual order. But there must be a balance: the spiritual order and the moral order. To get the balance in the
because I'm going to come back to him, but let me start with this chief. Now we hear chieftains in Igbo land, so we call somebody a chief A, chief B, chief C, chief D, and so on and so on. Chief Mrs., chief lady, lady chief, and so on. So this chieftaincy, how has it emerged in Igbo land?
The truth of the matter is that had it been we have an other title holder, and there's a title holder and a chief title holder that will be able to give us a clear vision of what we are looking at. But administratively, legislature demands and plays a very good role in these areas of leadership. Nze, Ozo, and chief is just like you have the local council and you have the high court and you have the Supreme Court. Just like he rightly said, you cannot become Nze and be an Ozo. That is the way he put it.
I said
somebody that will be an Ozo must have become Nze.
Yes.
So you cannot just come up and jump to become a legislator or a lawyer in the Supreme Court without having passed through the High Court. It's a standard, it's a level. So this chief of a thing has a colony, a community it governs. Nze, they are different kinds of titles. They have their own body. It's like a court, even though they stand on moral standards. And also is permitted to hold offer, but I am not sure whether Nze is permitted to hold offer because it's on a higher superlative degree of operation.
Okay.
And also is higher than that Nze. Somebody can be an Ozo as a title holder and initiate the children into becoming Nze, but they will not become Ozo, because him himself, that is an Ozo, is on a very higher standard than the children. Both of them controls moral standard, moral coordinations. You know, issue of who has the truth, say the truth. No, don't lie, don't deflect it, okay? Don't compromise. These are people that religion or African religion put in place for proper
social control,
administration, and control of morality.
Okay, yeah, because I asked this question because we have this. For me, the way I know it is that also and they are autochthonous.
Yes.
Kind of.
Yes.
But chieftaincy is not autochthonous. Chieftaincy is imported. It's a colonial heritage. We got it from the white man. But the other ones were
exactly.
The other ones are they're supposed to be autochthonous.
I would like to
so I want you to
on it.
Yes.
If you are read Chinua Achebe, I know you have read it.
Just fall apart.
Just fall apart.
About
the slave.
Okay.
Who is a slave? A slave is somebody who does not cherish who is not accepted by his people, who has no moral ethos, who lacks legitimacy in his land. And a slave is somebody like Judas in the biblical Judas Iscariot. And when the colonial masters came, the people they call chiefs, they call warrant chiefs, were people who were able to suppress the traditions of the land in as much as to satisfy the colonial masters. To collect, that was the genesis of the 1929
and 30s crisis.
Yes, crisis at Aba. So, warrant chief were people who were given that from that title of chiefs. They were the agents of the white men.
Okay.
Then in also are the agents of the indigenous community.
But we have Ezes.
I know.
Ezes.
I know.
Which is Igwes. As chiefs.
Igwe.
Yes.
Every chief is not an Igwe. Every chief is not an Igwe. Every chief is not an Eze. Every chief is not an Ozo.
Yeah.
Every chief is not an Nze.
It depends on the
I'm not. I know what I'm talking about.
Language communication in a particular environment.
I'm talking of what we have, because I also have friends who come from your area, in Abia State, Imo State. Now, if you come to my own area, like I'm a chief, but I'm not an Ozo.
Chief means like you're a professor in Ngbo town. They can give you Ojibo Eli of Ngbo, Dikebi Orama of Ngbo. By the contribution in the academia of Ngbo town, you giving chiefs just how he contributed to the community development. It's not about tradition.
Chieftaincy title is different from having a cabinet. Chief as a cabinet is a different role. Chieftaincy as a title that you answer and be going without a cabinet is a different role.
We're talking of Ozo, Nze, and Chief in Igbo land. Now, people bear these names. How do they bear this name? Do they bear it in reality and effectively? That is why we are looking at this. Because the mystery now is that somebody that is an Ozo, who is supposed to be the moral compass of his community,
of the
community, how far does he carry it along? There is which organizes something like, let me use the simple part to use Okonkwo Ebubedike, that washed his hand. If a child washes his hand well, then he will die with elders. Among the elders, we have the Ozos. But somebody becomes an Nze, works hard, and the Igbo man allows you to work hard, and you are brought into the to the high society.
Yes.
Now, but chief, like we know, happens to have come from the white man. It's from the colonial heritage.
Yes.
Like we have chief driver, like we have chief scientist, we have chief this, we have chief that, we have chief cameraman, chief medical officer. Those ones are, European concepts. But now our people mix it up with our own autochthonous, indigenous concepts of what? Of Ozo and Nze. And we want to see for the viewer How do we carry ourselves? If you are an Ozo, how do you maintain the integrity? If you are an Nze, how do you maintain integrity? If you are a chief, let me not go back to what Ikemba said. If you're a chief, how do you give pride to that particular title? When we come back, we will now look into that matter. How do we maintain the integrity of these concepts, or what do we do to make them work?
From the tiniest cells to the farthest galaxies, life holds secrets we are only beginning to uncover. Why are we here? What connects us all? What unseen forces shape our destiny? Join Professor Jude Udenta as he explores the wonders, the questions, and the revelations that define existence. Mysteries of life, where every answer sparks a new discovery. Watch now on Aneke TV every Monday.
Yeah. So if you we now want to look at the effect of this colonial heritage chief on the operations, the essential realities, the essence of Ozo and Nze. And I want to start that one with Ozo Gabriel and Ichukwu Ogbonnia.
The reality is that when you talk of chief, as we agreed, is a colonial import used in their colonial administration in a retro, because the Yoruba and the northern sides have their organized government. They don't have problem. But when they come to the Igbo, it's purely theocratic government. So they needed to give someone a warrant and called him chief to supervise everything that is happening in the community for their own interests. So chief is serves the needs or the commands of the colonial masters. Then while the Nze and the Ozo serve the spiritual, cultural needs of our community in the pre-modern Igbo. So then when they came in, that created the concept of the chiefs. You look at the edits that came during the military, 1978 edits on chieftaincy matters. Then coronating. That's why before any person becomes an Igwe, he gets certificate from government house.
Okay.
It's a kind of transformation of the warrant chief system.
Yeah, because Reverend, my worry now, which is what I am thinking, is how has this, chieftaincy institution, how has it impacted upon our Ozo and Nze institution? Because it came upon us.
To the best of my knowledge, in communication, words and names are very, very important.
Very, very important.
And in our morality, it is the service that defines the office,
okay,
not the office that defines the service.
Okay.
When we give names like chief or Ozo or Nze, some people use it to think of what they will attract,
okay,
what they will gain, without considering the defense they are to give
to the community
in that office and to the service of humanity. So when our understanding is abused, when our understanding is compromised, you see that we will leave the essence of the title. Good. And pursue the vigor that comes from the title.
Okay.
And that will lead to misnomer of operations.
You just use the word misuse and abuse of office.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, exactly.
Yes,
because we now major on the minor. What
the ephemeral?
What
we call it minor? It's ephemeral.
What will be put inside the boot, and not what will be made public for people to see. You know, certain things we get. If you are not able to tell the public how you get it, there is fraud behind it.
No.
So some of the people that were interested.
Reverend, I think there's something you are saying now. When we were young in the 70s,
okay.
I don't want to go to what when I wasn't following what was, but in the 70s, if you came back to your compound,
yes,
with anything,
yes,
that your mother or your father didn't give you,
yes,
they will stop you and say,
I ask you,
yes,
yes.
Not just, we are not talking of the days of you know, Tobit. No, we are talking of in Igbo land, immediately after the war. You cannot bring you. It's not possible to come even with ordinary ball. People will ask you, where have you collected this from?
Any chief, any nze, any other is assumed to be an opinion leader. And in opinion leadership, if you cannot lead your own opinion, you cannot lead people's opinion. So you must be able to defend your opinion morally, certify it, and then be able to influence people.
Yeah, because we are talking about this influence, and we are looking at this because now we have chiefs everywhere. Everywhere you have chief.
Even underage.
Chief, all of them are there. But so how do
buying
we?
And selling.
Yeah, how do we? Yeah, because it's not being bought and being sold.
Yes.
You know, as people are now
buying and selling it.
Yes.
People can bring indigenous from another community and sell chieftaincy to them, title to them, they'll give you money, and it becomes the same.
My organ now says that his own is no longer chief, that his own is high chief. So how do we do that? What do you say? Because we want to make sure that this institution is yes, even though some of them entered from this white man's colonization, we cannot run away from it. We cannot run away from the fact that we are Nigerians. We cannot run away from so many. We are now educated. We don't speak English, so it has entered. It has entered. But how do we sustain the essence of Mze, of Ozo, and then of this thing that somebody is a chief? How do we sustain it?
We can sustain it whereby an Mze eschews himself from all evils by living a life that is above board as far as morality is concerned, by ensuring that the ethics, the spiritual order of the society is maintained according to the head deity, because head deity is a sacred deity that does not allow evil to thrive.
Yeah, but we have a problem now that when you go out into Onwe Igbo, and then you go and take money from Egondi Onwe Igbo, is it an offense against the head goddess?
Yes, it's something.
I'm trying to find out.
It's some offense, because anything that goes contrary to the word of God, to the word of the supreme deity, because you don't. God is one God. There's
that is
Chukwu. Supreme deity.
That is Chukwu.
Call it Chukwu. Call it Chukwu Kabia. Call it Oluwa. Call it Owene. They are all representing the supreme deity and God of all gods. So. And also is a living spirit and a living ancestor.
Okay.
He's a middleman between the living and the dead.
Okay.
That's why he cannot lie. He cannot take another man's wife. He cannot cheat. He cannot judge wrongly.
Okay.
Whenever he sees white and calls it black, the head deity, the ancestors and deities will kill him. That's why the oath taken by true Ozos, I can say, is above the oath taken by any bishop or archbishop or Canterbury or pope or any reverend father, because no reverend father or pope or bishop or my reverend took an oath that any day he calls white black that he will die. I'm telling you the truth. That's why whenever there is crisis, the Ozos and the come to adjudicate, to preside over that conflict, to resolve it so that the victim will not go back with sorrow.
Okay.
Because what is happening now that most victims, when they come to the table of judgment, because they don't have what it takes, they will be treated like idiots.
Okay.
Then they will go back with sorrow, and when they go back with sorrow, and deity will start crying, and deity will be angry. From there, you still see some of those who presided over the dispute dying mysteriously. Have you seen it? So I was in a location one day. I told the reverend fathers there and the bishops there and the Igwe said, after praying, Igwe said, in the name of Jesus Christ, I told Igwe, it is wrong for a true Igwe to pray in the name of Jesus Christ. Because as an Igwe man also, your office was ordained by the deities and ancestors of the land, not by Jesus Christ. I know that in Jesus Christ there is mercy and grace. But in the ancestors and deities, once you do it, that is a issue for you. He will give it to you as you did it, and you will when you see the dark consequences of what you have done, you will repent in spirit and in truth.
I want to get.
The Bible said the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof.
I'm saying the truth.
So wait. I want to get pastor. I want to get reverend.
I'm not going to do Jesus Christ.
He's actually trying to go into divergence to somewhere else, but all the same. The name Jesus Christ is superior than everyone. Be that as it may. Be that as it may. Sir, the best way to sustain morality is to call a spade and not an agricultural implement.
Yes, or two.
Do you understand? An Igwe, and also or a chief is a leader. A leader must know the way. A leader must show the way. A leader must go the way. If you cannot show the way, it means you don't know the way. If you cannot follow the way, it means you don't know the way. So do as I do, not do as I say. So these are the things that, alters and abuse our process of
like
life.
The Pharisees.
Yes. Yes.
Said, according to Jesus, our Lord, he said, the Pharisees said unto the sons of Moses, do as they say, but do not do as they do. So, but that's by the way. So now this is the challenge we have. So maybe that part of the problem, we have inherited something dangerous. Doing as we say, not as we do.
One of the biggest problems we have today is that if people, because the God in you is your conscience. Your conscience is the God in you. And that your conscience is always tallies with the golden rule. Do unto others as you do others, do unto you. If things are done in line with that Christocentric rule of golden rule, there will be true peace in this world. But now you want your child to prosper. You don't want my child to prosper. You say there will be peace. There will be no peace.
The God that created us operates through our conscience.
Yes.
Put it that way.
Yes.
Not necessarily the God in you, because there are people that their conscience is already dead. They operate, yet they claim to be alive, but their conscience is dead. Yes. So it is the God that created you operates through your conscience when you allow that conscience to thrive, to be alive.
Yeah, I think we are facing a challenge. The challenge we have is that sometimes we see people that answer, because I remember there was a story when I went to a religious program at LL, and the man said that when they got there, some people came from Enugu, and then they also said that also doesn't sleep outside. So he took his people in a bus, 608, and all of them died coming back.
Including the other.
That is the problem. That is the problem. So why am I talking like that? There are so many rules in these things, which you mention some of them, which we know some of them. Now somebody is a chief, means the person has become an elite, like a light, Whether it is true or not, do your best to live it. So what do you suggest? What is your own last word to the viewer?
Well, whatever you cannot do, don't preach it.
So you don't want people to be also.
Whatever you cannot do, don't preach it.
Are you trying to say that?
Preach what you can do.
So
tell people what you can do.
Are you saying that people should not be answering this and also?
It is an aberration to preach what you are not doing.
Okay.
It is a misnomer.
A misnomer, eh?
Yeah, to preach what you are not doing. Even your conscience will be telling you are not doing this thing. So you can be an also, you can be you can be chief, but the purpose of that office inwardly is always abused.
Okay.
By compromise. So your existence in that office is irrelevant.
It's nonsensical.
It's irrelevant.
Okay. So also, what do we do?
My concluding word here is as Aneke, avoid evils in your life.
Okay.
Zelonjo. Nze means nzele. You don't involve anything that God hates. you can never involve yourself in it. Okay. And as an also who is also an Nze, or before you become an also you have been Nze, then ensure that you use your spiritual office to save those who are being victimized and intimidated by the powerful people in society. And as a chief, if you are given a title of Okulora one of no monotheism, ensure that you are speaking for no monotheism in truth and in spirit. Okay. If you are given Digedorama Omelora, whatever you are
always talking of Nora Nates.
That is for Nora Nates. That is your own community. I can talk about your own. So
Boro is also a community.
Yes, it's not going to talk about. When you answer Okulora one of no monotheism, ensure that you are speaking for the masses of no monotheism, especially the downtrodden.
Yes.
Whom the great people can depend on you. Who depend on you? Because your truth is an institution. It's an organism, not an organization.
Okay. So I think we have a challenge. You know, we brought it up because we are having all these titles, but these titles, how far do we live with the essence? And that's the challenge before us. It's not like it's a terrible mystery, but the issue is that people normally come now, they answer chief. That one is imported, but we have become colonized about it. But then people answer also. We wish that people would live according to the spiritual compass contained in these titles. And with this, we hope, by the grace of God, to see you next time. Bye.
From the tiniest cells to the farthest galaxies, life holds secrets we are only beginning to uncover. Why are we here? What connects us all? What unseen forces shape our destiny? Join Professor Jude Udenta as he explores the wonders, the questions, and the revelations that define existence. Mysteries of life, where every answer sparks a new discovery. Watch now on Aneke TV every Monday.
My name is Dr. Emmanuel Ihechi Asonye. I am the CEO of Omenka App LLC. I created Omenka App for the preservation of Igbo language and culture. Omenka App was established in New Mexico, and it is headquartered in Albuquerque, but currently we are also being registered in Nigeria. We have a website. We are also on social media, because my app is primarily for the Igbo community. In 2006, something significant happened among the Igbo community. UNESCO predicted that Igbo language was going to go into extinction, and that was because Igbo people are one of the most traveled people in the whole world. So the more children are born outside of Igbo land, the more they get disconnected. The app is on iOS, it's also on Android. Access the website and download the app from there. And over 2,000 people are using the app right now. But there's an app that will teach you about Igbo culture, Igbo people. We have Igbo poems, we have riddles and jokes, we have Igbo proverbs, then we have the word section where you are going to search Igbo words. Whatever word that you can find in English, you want to make sure it is found in the app in Igbo language. And I encourage everybody from their communities, you can do what we're doing in Omenka app with your own language and with your own culture. Do not allow your...
Corruption in Nigeria is not limited to isolated scandals. It is systemic, deeply embedded, and sector-specific, affecting critical areas of governance, particularly oil and gas, power, the judiciary, and local government administration. These sectors highlight how weak oversight, institutional fragility, and accountability gaps continue to constrain national development. Nigeria's oil and gas sector, the backbone of the national economy, remains highly vulnerable to corruption. Despite contributing the largest share of government revenue and foreign exchange earnings, the sector faces challenges of opaque accountability, weak audits, and repeated allegations of under-remittance. Independent investigations into the period between 2011 and 2017 uncovered unresolved revenue discrepancies running into tens of billions of dollars. Crude oil sales, fuel subsidy claims, and joint venture arrangements having particular areas of concern, while reforms like the commercialization of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and the Petroleum Industry Act were designed to improve transparency. Implementation gaps persist. Recent international asset recoveries, including over $50 million repatriated from the United States, illustrates the scale of past governance failures and the slow pace of accountability. The power sector also reflects the impact of weak governance on economic and social development. Since 1999, Nigeria has reportedly spent over $16 billion on interventions in electricity generation, transmission, and distribution. Yet, supply remains unreliable for a population exceeding 200 million. Audits indicate contract inflection, poor project supervision, and regulatory uncertainty as major challenges. Debt within the gas-to-power value chain has forced government bailouts and emergency payment to suppliers. Recent steps, including settlement of legacy gas debts, aim to stabilize the sector. But experts warn that without transparent procurement, stronger regulation, and disciplined subsidy management, energy insecurity will persist. The judiciary is critical in enforcing anti-corruption laws, but public confidence remains low. Surveys conducted by the National Bureau of Statistics and the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime show that judicial officers receive some of the highest average bribe payments among public officials. Perception studies consistently rank the judiciary among the most corrupt institutions, particularly in politically sensitive or high-value cases. Prolonged trials, frequent adjournments, and the procedural loopholes contribute to public skepticism. Legal analysts argue that stronger judicial discipline, improved remuneration, and institutional safeguards are essential to restore credibility. At the local government level, corruption directly affects citizens' daily lives. Councils responsible for primary health care, education, sanitation, and rural infrastructure are often cited in surveys for routine bribery and mismanagement. The National Bureau of Statistics reports that more than half of Nigerians interacting with public officials encounter demands for unofficial payments, particularly in local administration, policing, and utilities. Weak financial autonomy, political interference, and limited oversight exacerbate these problems, reinforcing distrust in government. Across all sectors, corruption thrives where institutions are weak. Oversight is limited and consequences are uncertain. While anti-corruption agencies report thousands of convictions and hundreds of millions of dollars in asset recoveries, experts stress that enforcement alone cannot fix systemic issues. Economic studies estimate that corruption costs Nigeria billions of dollars annually and could erode up to 37% of GDP by 2030 if reforms stall. Beyond economic loss, it undermines service delivery, widens inequality, and weakens democratic legitimacy. Policy analysts now advocate for a governance-first approach, strengthening institutions, ensuring transparency in public finance, digitizing service delivery, protecting whistleblowers, and guaranteeing judicial independence. For Nigeria, the challenge is no longer diagnosing corruption, but sustaining the political will to reform the systems that allow it to persist. In a country facing economic pressure, security challenges, and rising public expectations, governance reform remains central, not optional, to national progress. Across Nigeria, from bustling cities to quiet rural communities, one institution has endured the test of time: the traditional leadership. Long before modern governance structures emerged, these institutions were the heartbeat of society, providing leadership, justice, and social cohesion in ways that remain indispensable to this day. Traditional institutions are not merely ceremonial. They are custodians of Nigeria's rich and diverse cultural heritage. From the Obas of Yoruba land, the Emirs of the North, to the Igwe and Obi of Igbo land, traditional rulers preserve centuries of customs, language, festivals, and rituals. They ensure that the stories, values, and identity of their people are not lost in a rapidly changing world. What sets these institutions apart is their organic legitimacy. Unlike elected officials whose authority depends on periodic votes, traditional rulers derive their influence from ancestry, community consent, and deeply rooted cultural norms. This legacy makes them trusted arbiters, moral authorities, and stabilizing forces within their communities. Their position above partisan politics allows them to mediate dispute and guide society with a unique combination of wisdom and authority. At the grassroots level, traditional institutions are indispensable for governance and social order. They resolve dispute, manage land and chieftaincy matters, and acts as intermediaries between local communities and government policy. Corruption in Nigeria is not limited to isolated scandals. It is systemic, deeply embedded, and sector-specific, affecting critical areas of governance, particularly oil and gas, power, the judiciary, and local government administration. These sectors highlight how weak oversight, institutional fragility, and accountability gaps continue to constrain national development. Nigeria's oil and gas sector, the backbone of the national economy, remains highly vulnerable to corruption. Despite contributing the largest share of government revenue and foreign exchange earnings, the sector faces challenges of opaque accountability, weak audits, and repeated allegations of under-remittance. Independent investigations into the period between 2011 and 2017 uncovered unresolved revenue discrepancies running into tens of billions of dollars. Crude oil sales, fuel subsidy claims, and joint venture arrangements have been particular areas of concern, while reforms like the commercialization of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and the Petroleum Industry Act were designed to improve transparency, implementation gaps persist. Recent international asset recoveries, including over $50 million repatriated from the United States, illustrates the scale of past governance failures and the slow pace of accountability. The power sector also reflects the impact of weak governance on economic and social development. Since 1999, Nigeria has reportedly spent over $16 billion on interventions in electricity generation, transmission, and distribution. Yet, supply remains unreliable for a population exceeding 200 million. Audits indicate contract inflation, poor project supervision, and regulatory uncertainty as major challenges. Debt within the gas-to-power value chain has forced government bailouts and emergency payments to suppliers. Recent steps, including settlement of legacy gas debts, aim to stabilize the sector, but experts warn that without transparent procurement, stronger regulation, and disciplined subsidy management, energy insecurity will persist. The judiciary is critical in enforcing anti-corruption laws, but public confidence remains low. Surveys conducted by the National Bureau of Statistics and the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime show that judicial officers receive some of the highest average bribe payments among public officials. Perception studies consistently rank the judiciary among the most corrupt institutions, particularly in politically sensitive or high-value cases. Prolonged trials, frequent adjournments, and the procedural loopholes contribute to public skepticism. Legal analysts argue that stronger judicial discipline, improved remuneration, and institutional safeguards are essential to restore credibility. At the local government level, corruption directly affects citizens' daily lives. Councils responsible for primary health care, education, sanitation, and rural infrastructure are often cited in surveys for routine bribery and mismanagement. The National Bureau of Statistics reports that more than half of Nigerians interacting with public officials encounter demands for unofficial payments, particularly in local administration, policing, and utilities. Weak financial autonomy, political interference, and limited oversight exacerbate these problems, reinforcing distrust in government. Across all sectors, corruption thrives where institutions are weak. Oversight is limited and consequences are uncertain. While anti-corruption agencies report thousands of convictions and hundreds of millions of dollars in asset recoveries, experts stress that enforcement alone cannot fix systemic issues. Economic studies estimate that corruption costs Nigeria billions of dollars annually and could erode up to 37% of GDP by 2030 if reforms stall. Beyond economic loss, it undermines service delivery, widens inequality, and weakens democratic legitimacy. Policy analysts now advocate for a governance-first approach, strengthening institutions, ensuring transparency in public finance, digitizing service delivery, protecting whistleblowers, and guaranteeing judicial independence. For Nigeria, the challenge is no longer diagnosing corruption, but sustaining the political will to reform the systems that allow it to persist. In a country facing economic pressure, security challenges, and rising public expectations, governance reform remains central, not optional,